on a second-hand futon, no bad bag leaning by the back door. They say a good swing's worth the wait, and I'm trying to believe a little more. Late night buzzers, low hum in my chest. Maybe all these ballpark lights just mean I'm not there yet. Well, I'm not there yet. Run the bases, keep on chasing. Hearts are racing, feet keep pacing. Round in circles, all the same. Run the bases, call my name. Hey, hey, hey. Downtown flickers, boots on the blacktop. Under that moon, I count out my scars. Crowd cheers ringing in a faded highlight. Wish I could turn
Nothing I
these
do seems to
bruises
pay any
into
dividends, you know.
How many of you feel the same as Alexander?
Yes, for sure.
How many of you have been following the steps?
I want to, but it's hard to remember all of them.
Right?
Same here. It's way too complicated.
Let's take a break.
Is it over?
Get your money working by becoming a member of America First Credit Union today.
We are big enough to where we have established processes and procedures to protect you, but we're small enough to where there's still an owner involved in the day-to-day operations to ensure that we don't lose that personal touch. We'd love to tell you more about us, and feel free to reach out to us. You can reach our team at 801-728-0454.
Windward Electric is the foremost commercial and industrial electrical contractor in the Intermountain West. We value relationships as we strive to provide exceptional experiences for our clients. Call 801-648-7270 for a quote or visit windwardelectric.com today.
Live from Lindquist Field, it's Ogden Raptors baseball. As this evening is the first of a 6-game, 2-city series as the Raptors take on the Boise Hogs. Hi, everybody. I'm Tyson Whiting. Welcome to Raptors baseball. It's a matchup of two very evenly matched teams in the standings as the Raptors have a record of 21-15 and Boise is 20-16. For the Raptors, they just came off winning 2 out of 3 games against the Great Falls Voyagers. Boy, the Raptors' bats were outstanding in that entire series. On Friday night, Great Falls came away with a 15-11 victory, and then the Raptors won 18-17 in the second of the 3-game set. And then on Sunday in the rubber match, it was the Raptors coming out on top 16-10, but Great Falls did put together a pretty good top of the ninth, scoring 8 runs as it was 16-2 heading into the ninth inning. Well, for the Raptors, they have Caleb Bunch on the mound. He's been outstanding in an Ogden uniform, and he's looking to do the same thing that Jason Shoup did, as Shoup pitched 7 innings, allowing just 2 runs, and he was outstanding for the Raptors in their victory on Sunday afternoon. 2 pretty good offensive clubs doing battle. For the Raptors, they have scored 62 runs over their last 4 games. It's a Bank of Utah Tuesday. If you got a Bank of Utah card, come on down as we have some discounts this evening. It's going to be a lot of fun. The weather is absolutely perfect here at Lindquist Field. If you're in the Ogden area, come on out and join us. We're going to have a lot of fun this evening. Remember, it's 4 games here in Ogden, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then the scene shifts to Boise for games on Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. When we come back, we'll go over the league standings as well as the lineup for both teams as we're in business on a Tuesday night, and you're listening to the Ogden Raptors Baseball Network.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
LWE has become an industry leader and performed new construction and retrofit work to companies in several industries. LWE is located in northern Utah and has performed work throughout the western United States. We can be reached at 801-621-3220.
Kier has evolved into a diversified general contractor with experience in commercial construction. Hundreds of projects throughout the Intermountain West attest to Kier's wide range of expertise in design and build. Kier Construction invites you to experience the difference. Call us at 801-627-1414. Dave Grant has proudly served the community for over 50 years. Getting what you need, where you need it, when you need it, encapsulates our mission to deliver reliable and timely service. Contact us at 801-394-1621 or at www.granttrucking.com.
Welcome back from the break. Tonight's broadcast is presented on the Home Team Network for live video streaming, on YouTube for audio-only coverage, and on 88.9 FM for In the Park Radio.
Welcome back to Raptors Baseball as we got a beautiful night for baseball. As the temperatures are in the 80s, hardly a cloud in the sky. It is just about perfect. Most of the stands are in the shade. And Big Caleb Bunch will get the start for the Raptors this evening. Well, let's go over the league standings, as it's certainly interesting at the top. Both Billings and Long Beach are 8-2 over their last 10 games. Billings has a record of 27-7, and Long Beach is 28-8. They are tied for first place in the Pioneer League standings. The Glacier Range Riders have won 7 in a row, and they have a record of 22-14. Ogden is in a two-way tie with Modesto for fourth place in the Pioneer League standings. The Boise Hawks are in sixth place with a record of 20-16. They have lost 4 in a row. Missoula is 16-19 on the year. The Oakland Ballers, the defending champions, are in eighth place at 16-20. Great Falls, who won 4 out of 9 games at Lindquist Field here in the month of June, they are 14-22. Yuba Sutter is 12-24. The Idaho Falls Chuckers, they won 3 in a row. They're 10-25. They just swept Boise in a 3-game set this past weekend, and the Red Pocket Mobiles are bringing up the rear with a record of 7-29. Let's go over the lineups for both teams. First, for the visiting Boise Hawks, are led by manager Sean Persky. The pitching coach is John Chalupa. The hitting coach is Dakota Connors. The director of scouting is Jimmy Johnson. No, not the former football coach or the NASCAR driver or the former NFL tight end. Jimmy Johnson, director of scouting, and the athletic trainer is Andrew Gong. Leading off is the right fielder, Austin Folds. Batting second and playing third base, Tyler Best. Hitting third is the second baseman, Ethan Underwood. Batting fourth is the first baseman, Jeremiah Begora. Hitting fifth and playing left field, Joseph Califoot. Hitting sixth is the center fielder, Logan Meyer. Batting seventh is the bountiful Utah native, Parker DePasquale. Hitting eighth is the catcher, Caden Matlon. And batting ninth is the shortstop, Darrell Jackson. On the mound is left-hander Andrew Baker, who used to play at the University of Florida. Boise is in a black jersey with orange numbers in the back, and they are wearing a green hat. Boise's lost 4 in a row. They've got a record of 20-18, 1 game back of Ogden for the two-way tie for fourth place in the Pioneer League standings. As a club, Boise's hitting .317, and they're not really a power unit. They've only homered 30 times in 36 games this season. Now let's go over the lineup of the homestanding Ogden Raptors, who have scored 62 runs over their last 4 games. The Raptors are making their last appearance in the month of June, and it's been a very successful month for the Raptors as they are 17-7 in the month of June. Leading off is the shortstop, Chase Valentine. Batting second and playing second base, Cole Jordan. Hitting third is the designated hitter, Carmine Lane. Batting fourth and playing left field, Kyler Stancato. Hitting fifth is the center fielder, Colson Lawrence. Batting sixth and playing right field, Bradley Pell. Hitting seventh is the third baseman, Gio Ferraro. Batting eighth and playing first base, Efren Monzo. And hitting ninth is the catcher, Dylan Wilkinson. Once again, a top three of Valentine, Jordan, and Lang. The middle third of Stancato, Lawrence, and Pell, and the bottom third of Ferraro, Manzo, and Wilkinson. And on the mound is big Caleb Bunch, first-year pro. In fact, earlier this season, he played at Baylor University, and he had a successful season. And Bunch has really gotten off to a quick start here in an Ogden uniform as he is making his fourth start. He's got a 0-1 record with a 5.40 earned run average. Umpires this evening, a three-man crew. Home plate umpire is Paul Graham. The first base umpire is Rob Minter, and Larry Pfister is the arbiter at third. Raptors led by third-year manager Evan Parker. The hitting coach is Ed Campanello. As Raptors are set to take the field, as Chase Valentine will catch the ceremonial first pitch. And boy, how about Valentine on Sunday, where he went 3 for 6, including a 3-run homer in the third inning. So watch out for Chase Valentine. He's my pick to click. Everybody make your pick to click as who's the player of the game for the Raptors this evening. And if you're a Boise Hawks fan, make your pick as to who's going to be the star of the game for the Boise club. Look at Austin Folds, who's going to be at the top of the order for Boise. He's having an outstanding year, hitting .351. Two of the best offensive clubs in the Pioneer League, and the Raptors are about as hot as anybody. They're hitting .358 as a club. They have 61 homers, and they lead the league with 121 doubles. And they were certainly outstanding in the 3-game series against the Great Falls Voyagers. Just waiting for Caleb Bunch to lead the Raptors out of the third base dugout. If you're in the Ogden area, come on out and join us. It looks like a beautiful night for baseball, and really all week. Looks like it's going to be outstanding as we've got 4 home games, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then both clubs will head to Boise for games on Saturday and Sunday. As I mentioned before, it's been a very successful month of June for the Raptors as they are 17-7 on the month. And with that, even if the Raptors don't catch Billings and Long Beach or a playoff spot in the first half, they certainly could build some positive momentum heading into the second half of this season. Boise's looking to get back on track after being swept in a 3-game series by Bob Malaki's Idaho Falls Chuckers. So the Raptors is kind of lingering around in the third base dugout, waiting to take the field. It's a Bank of Utah Tuesday, so if you got a Bank of Utah card in particular, come on out and get some discounted tickets and some discounts in the concession stand. Speaking of the concession stands, hopefully somebody will send me a Raptor burger a little bit later on as Chase Valentine leads the Raptors on the field. They're wearing a white jersey with kind of teal-colored numbers and a little bit of blue mixed in, as Dylan Wilkinson, the catcher, will shake the hands of all 3 umpires. Both teams are coming out of the dugout as Andrew Baker, the left-hander for Boise, continues his tosses in the first base bullpen. We will stand and pause for our national anthem. See if we can listen to the anthem and get good audio of it here on this Tuesday night. That's our national anthem here on a Tuesday night as the Raptors are out there taking their positions. What a beautiful night for baseball. This is about as good a setting as you can possibly have in all of professional baseball. Let's go over the defensive alignment for the Raptors this evening. Ogden has a 965 team fielding percentage. They made 49 errors on the season. In left field is Kyler Stancato. Colson Lawrence is in center, and Bradley Pell is in right. The third baseman is Gio Ferraro. Chase Valentine is at short. Cole Jordan is at second, and Efren Monzo is at first. A battery of Dylan Wilkinson catching, and on the mound is the tall right-hander Caleb Bunch, who played earlier this season at Baylor University. And at Baylor, he had a 5-3 record with a 3.48 earned run average. He worked 41 1/3 innings, giving up 34 hits, 16 runs, all of them were earned. He walked 18 and struck out 47. It's his fourth start as a Raptor, and it's his fourth professional start. As Bunch has an 0-1 record with Ogden with a 5.40 earned run average. He has worked 15 innings, giving up 24 hits, 14 runs, 9 of them earned. He has walked 4 and struck out 13 in the Pioneer League, is batting .364 against the tall right-hander. He goes 6'5" and 230 pounds, 23 years old, out of Plano, Texas. He was born on Valentine's Day of 2003, and I believe that morning I got a couple packs of baseball cards and ended up getting a Mark Pryor card. I was certainly happy about that. I thought that card would have some value to it, and it just might to Mark Pryor's family. As the ball's being rolled around the infield, club's going up here on a Tuesday as we begin a 6-game, 2-city series between the Raptors and Boise Hawks. The beverages are cold, the hot dogs are warm, so let's play some baseball as the Raptors are on the field taking on the Boise Hawks here on a Tuesday night. Leading things off for Boise is Austin Folds. And also goes by A.J. Folds, left-handed hitter. First pitch from Bunch is a little bit low for ball one. First pitch at 6:31. Temperature is in the 80s. Beautiful night for baseball. Bunch gets the old school signs from Wilkinson, kicks and delivers. And that one misses a little bit inside at 78 miles an hour. For Austin Folds, he is hitting .351 with 2 homers, 11 RBIs. He's got 21 walks and 13 strikeouts. So he's got a pretty patient eye. The 2-0. It's a fastball that misses high, and the count goes 3-0. Crowd still filing in here on a Tuesday night. Beautiful here at Lindquist Field. Oh, just about the perfect setting. The 3-0. Fastball called strike. That was at 84 miles an hour from Caleb Bunch. Raptors looking to close out the month of June in style, and it's really been a very successful month at 17-7. The 3-1 is lifted foul third base side, and it hits an empty seat about 2 rows from the top there near the concession stand. Now the count goes full. Bunch working quickly. He fires. Bouncing ball near the Boise dugout first base side. Folds out of Dallas, Texas. In fact, it's a battle of Dallas natives. Caleb Bunch from Plano, Texas, which is near the Dallas area. And A.J. Folds from Dallas. Folds, 26 years old. The 3-2 swing and a miss. As Bunch took something off it, 79 miles an hour. And this one starts with Austin Folds swinging and missing. And he will go to the Boise dugout, give the scouting report on Caleb Bunch. So that brings up Tyler Best. He's in his third year in the Pioneer League. Best hitting .303 with 4 homers, 25 RBIs. Bunch fires straight over the top and misses low for ball one. Best played at the University of Hawaii from 2019 through 2021 and then transferred to Northwest Nazarene for 2 years from 2022 through 2023. Right-handed hitter. Next pitch. That's a called strike. Best is in his third year in the Pioneer League. He played the last 2 years with the Oakland Ballers, but only played sparingly. 6 games in 2024 and 4 games for the champs last year. Bouncing ball third, just foul. Past Gio Ferraro and towards the Raptors bullpen. Best spent part of the last 2 years in the Pecos League. Outfield straightaway, the third baseman Ferraro's playing towards the line. Carmine Lane, who normally plays third base, he is the designated hitter this evening. As they're going with a little bit of the lineup that they would normally see with a left-handed pitcher. That is going to be working for Boise. The next pitch misses low, kind of a 57-footer. And the count goes to 2-2 to Tyler Best. He'll be followed up by Ethan Underwood and Jeremiah Begora. Bunch with a slow windup, fires over the top. Check swing, did he go around? Called strike 3. Boy, Best with a little bit of excessive window shopping. He was caught looking at one too many. Back-to-back strikeouts to begin play here in the first. So that brings up Ethan Underwood, who's in his second season with the Boise Hawks. Last year, he hit .337. This season, Underwood is hitting .345 with 1 homer and 30 RBIs. Boise, not much of a power-hitting team. They only have 30 homers through 36 games this season. First pitch is a called strike, and it's going to be challenged by Underwood. It's a Red Pocket Mobile strike zone challenge. And the pitch is overturned to a ball, so it's a successful Red Pocket Mobile strike zone challenge for Ethan Underwood. Best, the slow windup, kicks and fires. Next pitch, get me over, change up for a strike. Looks like Caleb's done a good job with that off-speed pitch. That's what he got Folds out with. A little bit of a change up. Next pitch, swing and a miss. That was another one at 77 miles an hour. The count's 1-2. Fans still filing in here. If you're in the Ogden area, still plenty of time to come on out and join us. Best taking a little bit of time with his signs, make that bunch. And the next pitch. That one misses high, counts 2-2. You wonder as the season progresses, because Caleb Bunch worked a full college season, whether he's going to get that dead arm period. That usually happens for guys around the start of August, for guys that had been pitching a full season college and then turned pro. Swing and a miss. 3 straight strikeouts to begin play as Caleb Bunch rolls through the first. We head to the bottom half. Boise nothing, and the Ogden Raptors are coming up. You're listening to the Ogden Raptors Baseball Network.
From the humble beginnings of Lael Bowman and Mel Kemp, the company has grown into a large steel facility supplying structural steel, reinforcing steel, and basement window systems.
From providing a great member experience to providing easy access to your accounts with our mobile app, we are here to help you along your journey. Call 801-399-9728 for more information or visit ascentcu.com.
I'm married with 2 kids.
I'm a veteran. I own my own business.
I'm a retired school teacher.
And
I've had thoughts of suicide.
But, thankfully,
my granddaughter made a point of checking in on me.
Spencer noticed when I was distancing myself.
One of my buddies, he was worried about me.
Having someone
when I wasn't myself.
When I need it most.
Help me live on.
Live on.
Live on.
This is Hannah with the Ogden Raptors. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, videos, and accounts of this game is prohibited without the express written consent of the Pioneer Baseball League. Copyright 2024, Pioneer Baseball League.
Welcome back to Lindquist Field. No score here in the bottom of the first inning. Let's go over the defensive alignment for the Boise Hawks, who are led by manager Sean Persky. In left field is Joseph Califoot. In center field is Logan Meyer. The right fielder is Austin Folds. Third baseman is Tyler Best. The shortstop is Darrell Jackson. At second base is Ethan Underwood. And at first base is Jeremiah Begora. A battery of Caden Matlon catching. And on the mound is left-hander Andrew Baker. To lead things off for Ogden, it's Chase Valentine. He'll be followed up by Cole Jordan and Carmine Lane. Caleb Bunch with 3 straight strikeouts in the top of the first. The kick and the first pitch from Baker is outside for ball 1. Valentine on the year is hitting .360 with 8 homers and 45 RBIs. He leads the Raptors with 23 doubles and 19 stolen bases on the year. The 1-0, swing and a miss. As Baker took something off that, probably a changeup at 75 miles an hour. For Andrew Baker, he's a former draft pick, 36th round by Cleveland in 2016. The 1-1 breaking ball. Valentine out in front of it and fouls it out of play as a fan tried to reach with his glove and was unable to catch the ball. Baker this season is making his 6th appearance and his 5th start. He's 2-0 with an 8.53 earned run average. He's worked 19 innings, giving up 27 hits, 18 runs. He has walked 14 and struck out 16 in the Pioneer League, is batting .338 against left-hander Andrew Baker. Next pitch, breaking ball that misses low. Good take by Valentine as the count's now 2-2. Baker's 5'11", 205 pounds, out of Haines City, Florida. Previously played with the Down East Bird Dogs. Next pitch, that misses outside. And that's right, Bird Dogs is spelled just the way you think it would. B-I-R-D-A-W-G-S. Bird Dogs. Well, Pioneer League spelling bee as Valentine calls time. Chase Valentine hit a 3-run homer in the 3rd inning on Sunday. He had 3 hits, where the Raptors won 16-10. Valentine lifts it towards Raptors Ridge, and it's going to sail towards the ridge, and it bounces off the bottom of it. Valentine rounds first and has a stand-up double. For Chase Valentine, that's his league leading 24th double of the year. Boy, he loves this ballpark, and the ballpark loves him back, as that one just kept drifting towards the bottom of Raptors Ridge. It went 348 feet in the air, and it didn't have a ton of hang time, just 3.9 seconds. That'll bring up Cole Jordan, the second baseman. He is hitting .346 with 9 homers, 45 RBIs. .406 on base percentage. Jordan had been hitting down in the order, but he's back in the number 2 hole. Valentine's got a pretty good lead at second. Remember, he's a stolen base threat. He leads the Raptors with 19. As Baker looks at Valentine, who's got a big lead at second. First pitch of Jordan, that misses inside for ball 1. Jordan, a 3rd-year Raptor. Couple 3rd-year Raptors, Jordan and Nico Santaformaggio. Boise's got a few players that have been with their club for 2 or more years. Baker gets the sign. Holds on to it. Valentine takes off. And the throw to third's going to be safe. Baker can't believe it. As Baker was in a set position, Valentine just took off. Baker stepped off, threw to third, and it was a close play. And Valentine with a head-first slide, he was safe. You talk about excitement. Chase Valentine taken off before the pitch was even thrown and had an outstanding jump. And the Boise dugout was pretty late to say he was going. A ball, no strikes to Cole Jordan. Next pitch, that's a liner towards second. It's caught in the air by Underwood, and Valentine holds up at third. So Jordan just trying to get something towards the right side and driving the run, but got a little bit of air under it. The line drive was caught by Underwood for the first out. That brings up the designated hitter, Carmine Lane. He's hitting .384 with 4 homers and 37 RBIs. Lane, 28 walks, 18 strikeouts. Done a good job making contact. First pitch, that's a strike. Lane with his teal bat. He actually broke a teal bat in Sunday's game, but looks like he's picked out a new piece of teal lumber. Former Miami Marlins draft pick, slightly closed right-handed stance. Next pitch from Baker, and that's a little bit low off speed. Counts 1-1. Raptors have been amazing offensively all season. They're averaging 11.16 runs per game. With Valentine still in third, that's the 78th stolen base by the Raptors this year. They're very aggressive on the base pass in the Great Falls series. The 1-1 breaking ball, that misses outside. Counts 2-1. As Lane, wearing no batting gloves, picks up a piece of dirt, rubs it on his uniform. Raptors going with the white jerseys, blue numbers, and a little bit of teal mixed in. Boise in a black jersey with orange numbers and a green hat. Certainly not making a fashion statement there. Next pitch to Lane's outside. Counts 3-1. I mean, they are making a fashion statement, but it is one where you scratch your head a little bit. Kind of an interesting combination of colors. Valentine with a big lead at third, as he wants Baker to focus on him as much as he's focusing on Lane at the plate. Just getting underway. Grab some hot dogs and popcorn and a beverage or two of your choice and enjoy part of Tuesday with us. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Valentine takes off, throw to the plate. And Valentine hasn't been tagged yet. Now he's tagged by the catcher, Matt Lawn, for the second out. Boy, just kind of a slow tapper back towards Baker. Valentine took off on contact. And good job by Baker not panicking. Just made a low throw to the plate. Maton got it in front of the plate and then eventually tagged out Valentine for the second out. So I'll bring up Kyler Stancato, who's hitting .494. That's right, he is 38 for 77 on the year. 2 homers, 20 RBIs. He's only struck out 7 times and 77 at-bats. First pitch to left-handed hitting Stancato misses low for ball 1. Stancato, 6'3", 210 pounds, out of University Place, Washington. 24 years old. Baker comes set, checks the runner lane at first, as we're still scoreless here on the bottom of the first. Raptors already with 1 hit, swing and a miss. That pitch is at the top of the zone at 85 miles an hour. Probably going to see a lot of off-speed stuff from Baker. Looks like his fastball is kind of a Ronald Reagan type, which is in the mid to high 80s. Next pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. So Raptors here probably have to wait out Baker a little bit, and if Baker can throw that breaking ball for a strike, he could be pretty tough all night. Still no score. Augie standing on top of the first base dugout. The 1-2. Swing and a miss as Baker got Stancato chasing below the zone. We're through 1 inning of play, no score. You're listening to the Ogden Raptors Baseball Network.
At the Prairie Schooner, you can dine in a covered wagon while enjoying our delicious hand-cut steaks, fresh seafood, and signature desserts. Go to prairieschoonerrestaurant.com or call us at 801-392-2712 to reserve your table today.
Welcome back from the break. Tonight's broadcast is presented on the Home Team Network for live video streaming, on YouTube for audio-only coverage, and on 88.9 FM for In the Park Radio.
Welcome back to Lindquist Field. I'm Tyson Whiting, as we're going to talk with Evan Parker here shortly, as Parker having a conversation in the Ogden dugout. As for Boise, it's going to be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up here in the top of the second. As we're now joined by Raptors manager Evan Parker. Evan, Caleb Bunch is certainly a big right-hander. He struck out the side in the first inning. What have you liked from not only tonight but all season?
Bunchy is a competitor. I think we've talked about this before in his starts, but, coming from Baylor, coming from the environments that he's pitched in before, he's well tested. So, anytime that he's out there, we feel like we got a shot. And I always say, you gotta play us for 27 outs. That saying's been going pretty good for the last, month or so. So want to keep it going.
Jeremiah Beguar with a single left field. First pitch to Joseph Califoot is a called strike. I remember when I was calling games for Idaho Falls in 2018, we had a few pitchers that had already pitched a full college season, and quite a few of them by the end of July, early August, they ended up going through a bit of a dead arm period. Do you think about those sort of things with the guys that came in having already pitched a college season, probably been throwing since February?
Yeah, absolutely. I call that the cusp year. You know, that's the first year of where you leave college and enter pro ball, that type of thing. So that's a very difficult. It is difficult, but I mean, in some ways, like you're already in the groove, but in some ways you're making transitions, especially because you're changing environments, you're changing competitive levels. You're not pitching to metal bats anymore. So I don't know. So yeah, there's definitely an adjustment thing there, and you have to watch the workload. All of those things have to be considered. A lot of these guys that have come out of college already thrown innings in the fall as well. So wow, good play off the wall. Good play off the wall. So,
Bradley Pell certainly played that well off Raptors Ridge.
Yeah, you know, college guys you have to monitor closely, and but Bunchy's workload is still within within the threshold. So as are most of these guys, we don't want to beat them up too bad. We know what they do as we recruit them to come here.
Last question, Valentine, pretty aggressive on the base pass in the first inning. You guys are pretty aggressive against Great Falls. That big part of the Raptor style play is being aggressive on the base pass.
I mean, put pressure on the defense, man. That's one of the best things you can do is just put pressure on them. And, you know, we got to be a little bit, I think that Chase and I need to communicate a little bit better about what we need to do right there on that, on that one out play, you know, so him and I'll talk about that. But I love the aggressiveness, to be honest with you. You know, that him and I have communicated about his green lights and our nonverbals to let him know when I think it's a good time to go. So, you know what? Yeah, absolutely. That's part of our MO. And we're going to continue to put pressure on guys. And, yeah, like I said, like our chances in 9 innings. Thank you for having me.
And thanks for joining us, Evan Parker. There's a fly ball in the right field, and it turns out to be a sacrifice fly off the bat of Logan Meyer. And that scores Jeremiah Begora. Advancing to third is Joseph Califoot, and there's one out here in the top of the second with Boise leading 1-0. So to recap what's happened so far in the inning, Begora hit a single on the first pitch to left field, and then Joseph Califoot bounced one off a Raptors Ridge. It, as Evan Parker mentioned, was nicely played by Bradley Pell off the wall. That made for a second and third situation, and Logan Meyer just flying out to the right fielder. Bradley Pell caught it in front of the warning track, and that brings up the Bountiful, Utah native and former Raptor Parker D. Pascali, who was born in Salt Lake City, lives in Bountiful, Utah, went to Bountiful High School and won a Utah State title in high school, played in 14 games with the Raptors in the 2024 season. He's batting 7th for Boise, as he's a right-handed hitter, and he takes high from Caleb Bunch. The count's now 1-1. D. Pascali's hitting .294, no homers, 22 RBIs. Bunch takes a deep breath, checks the runner at third, and delivers. D. Pascali fouls one off first base side as he got jammed a bit. Counts 1-2. So D. Pascali, the fourth batter here in the top of the second. He'll be followed up by Caden Matlon and Daryl Jackson. These teams met a couple weeks ago in Boise, so they're familiar with each other, as that next pitch is fisted foul first base side as D. Pascali was jammed once again. Both teams split that 3-game series, winning 3 games each from June 19th through the 21st, and then they had that Monday off, and they played 3 more June 23rd through the 25th. Raptors, we mentioned a few times now, have had a very successful month of June. The 1-2, breaking ball, that one misses low and outside. Counts now 2-2. So Parker D. Pascali, D-E-P-A-S-Q-U-A-L-E, his last name. As Bunch comes set, takes a deep breath, and he delivers. Bouncing ball up the middle. Valentine ranges to his left. Fields fires to first, and it's a close play, and he's safe, says the first base umpire. Boy, that one could have gone either way, and Valentine did a great job coming up with it. It is an RBI for D. Pascali as Califoot scores, and it's now 2-0 Boise. Boy, that was a close play. Could have gone either way. Raptors really didn't argue the call that much. As we mentioned, it wasn't all that hard hit, and Valentine, boy, he raced a long way towards his left, did a good job fielding it, and made a nice throw to first. So that brings up Caden Matlon. That single by D. Pascali is an RBI. It's his 23rd of the year. First pitch to Matlon is outside. Caden Matlon is 7 for 43 at the plate with 1 homer and 3 RBIs. Kind of a catcher that's a bit of a defense-first catcher out of Green Valley, Missouri. Played previously at the University of Akron. Next pitch, That's a called strike. Counts 1-1 to Caden Matlon, Matlon. 6'1", 200 pounds, 24 years old. The runner, Deep Pascali, with a pretty good lead at first. I imagine some of his family will be in attendance. He's from the Bountiful area. Line drive base hit right up the originator as it goes past Bunch and rolls to center field, played by Lawrence. And after striking out 3 straight in the top of the first, the Boise Hawks have put their hitting shoes on here with 5 straight that they made contact on. They've got 4 hits. That one out was a sacrifice fly off the bat of Logan Meyer. And now it looks like they're checking on Matlon as the trainer is coming out. Matlon might have hurt himself rounding first. So it's 2-0 Hawks. Runners at first and second with 1 out for Darrell Jackson. Jackson, a first-year pro, hitting .276 with 3 homers, 28 RBIs. He's got pretty good speed. He leads the Hawks with 11 stolen bases. They continue to check on Caden Matlon. 4 hits already for Boise in this inning. Looks like Matlon's going to stay in the game. When it comes to value, Red Pocket Mobile knocks it out of the park. Premium 5G plans start at just $10 a month, and that price stays locked in. No curveballs. Step up to better wireless at redpocket.com. Runner at first not being held on, that's Matlon, so he's got a pretty good lead. Runner at second's got a modest lead. First pitch to the right-handed hitting Jackson's a called strike. Darrell Jackson out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 23 years old, 5'9", 185 pounds. He kind of crouches down a little bit, so he doesn't have all that big a strike zone. The next pitch from Bunch is lifted foul, first base side now to play. Already a few souvenirs for people hanging outside the ballpark. If you're in the Ogden area, there's still plenty of time to come on out here on this Bank of Utah Tuesday. Don't forget that the Raptors will be at home for the next 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 6:30 first pitches all 3 nights. Start of a 2-city, 6-game series, with the first 4 being played here in Ogden. As time's called at the plate. I remember the situation when I was in Idaho Falls, and that's why I asked Evan Parker about pitchers that have already pitched a full college season as Bunch has. Next pitch straight over the top, and that misses outside. Bunch 6'5", and he throws almost like a catch, just straight over the top. And so he gets good downward movement on his pitches. I remember there's a few pitchers that had pitched a full college season that had a little bit of a dead arm period in late July. Jonathan Bolin and Jonathan Heasey. Both guys have reached the big leagues. Ball bounces in the dirt, and it will go to the backstop as Wilkinson got a piece of it, but it just ricocheted off him and flew in the air a few feet and then landed towards the warning track behind home plate. So advancing to second and third is Deep Pascali. He's at third, and Matlon takes second. So 2-0 Boise here in the top of the second. Runners at second and third, 1 out. And so with Bunch, you kind of wonder, and we're probably not going to see that dead arm period for another month or so, but Bunch, like those Idaho Falls pitchers in 2018, and like the case with a lot of guys that pitched a college season and then plays in the Pioneer Leagues. That one's a fly ball. The Raptors ridge and deep. That is high. It is deep, and it one hops towards the wall where it's played by Lawrence. 2-run score, and heading to second base standing up is Darrell Jackson. 2 RBIs on the play, and it's now 4-0 Boise. As that one was actually out of the zone outside as Jackson reached for it and went the other way. And he put together a good piece of hitting. That went 329 feet and 1 hop towards the warning track where it was played by Lawrence, who's got a pretty good arm. So for Darrell Jackson, that's RBIs number 29 and 30 on the season. As we head back to the top of the order for A.J. Folds, who struck out in the first. Folds from the Dallas area. Played his college baseball at Rogers State, which is in Claremore, Oklahoma. First pitch is a strike at 78 miles an hour. He majored in fitness management. I imagine those are the guys you see at the gym every now and then, and based on the pipes he's got in those forearms, yeah, he certainly practices that fitness management. Next pitch, that one's tapped foul near the netting. Counts 0-2. Folds in his first year as a pro. According to Baseball Reference, didn't play last season, although he might have played in an independent league that isn't, that Baseball Reference just doesn't keep an eye on. Folds wearing number 7 on the back of his black jersey. The number is orange. Runner takes off, Bunch steps off and throws to third, and we got a pickle situation as Jackson's in a pickle and he's being tagged by Ferraro, and there's 2 outs. As Jackson doing his best Chase Valentine impersonation, and Bunch was able to spot that Jackson was moving, so he stepped off, threw it to Ferraro at third, and Ferraro tagged Jackson around the second base bag. So now there's 2 outs and nobody on. But Boise's already put together a big second inning with 4 runs and 4 hits. Next pitch, swing and a miss as Folds has struck out for the second time this evening. But the Boise Hawks score 4 runs on 5 hits. We head to the bottom of the second. Hawks 4, Raptors nothing. This is the Ogden Raptors Baseball Network.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
LWE has become an industry leader and performed new construction and retrofit work to companies in several industries. LWE is located in northern Utah and has performed work throughout the western United States. We can be reached at 801-621-3220.
Do you thrive on a challenge? Does crafting complex parts ignite your passion? Peterson Inc. isn't your average manufacturer. We're world-class, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We're looking for skilled welders and machinists to join our team. People who take pride in precision. If you're wanting to contribute to groundbreaking innovations, Peterson Inc. is your place. Visit petersoninc.com and join the team that builds the future.
This broadcast is the exclusive property of the Ogden Raptors Baseball Club and the Pioneer Baseball League. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, reproduction, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Ogden Raptors and the Pioneer Baseball League is strictly prohibited.
Club's going up on a Tuesday as the Raptors look to get things rolling offensively. 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up in the bottom of the second. One of the things the Raptors have done an outstanding job of is when they've given up a big inning, is that they've come back and put together a crooked number offensively. That was certainly the case in the Great Falls series, and with Boise scoring 4 in the top of the second, Raptors looking to respond as Colson Lawrence is going to hit against the left-hander Andrew Baker. The first pitch is a called strike on the outside corner at 75 miles an hour. With Baker, looks like the Raptors are going to see a ton of that off-speed pitch. Curveballs in the mid-70s. Lawrence, right-handed hitter with power. Next pitch is line foul, third base side, just past Evan Parker, the third base coach. Lawrence is hitting .418 on the year with 11 homers and 45 RBIs. That's right, he's hitting the proverbial cover off the ball. He's got 16 doubles on the season. Ball just jumps off his bat. Next pitch that misses low is blocked in the dirt by Matlin, but with nobody on base, it really didn't matter if he blocked it or not. Raptors going with their lineup that's normally typical against the lefty, and with that in mind, Garrett Bavacqua is out of the lineup, as is Sebastian Greco. We might see him later on in the game in a pinch hit situation. Next pitch, swing and a miss. That was at the top of the zone, and it was in the zone at 86 miles an hour. Swung and missed by Lawrence. As there's one out, that's the second strikeout by Baker. So that brings up Bradley Pell, who's hitting .319 on the year with 1 homer and 22 RBIs. Pell's got a pretty good eye at the plate as he leads the Raptors with 30 walks. Baker gets the sign. He kicks and fires with pretty good extension. That one's a strike at 85 miles an hour. Boy, Baker's not very tall, but he does do a pretty good job of getting extension with his right leg out. Former draft pick of Cleveland in 2016. Next pitch that misses high at 85 miles an hour. Baker does a pretty good job of hiding the ball. Looks like he's a pretty good athlete as well. Played his college baseball at the University of Florida. The 1-1. That one misses high and into Pell. Not only does Pell lead the Raptors with 30 walks, but he's also tied for the club lead as he's been hit by a pitch 7 times. As he's tied with Chase Valentine for the club lead. Bottom of the second, one out, nobody on. 4-0 Boise. Next pitch that misses low, and the count's 3-1. Pell's got a pretty patient eye at the plate. 9 doubles on the season. He's got pretty good speed. He's got 7 stolen bases, which ranks tied for third on the club. Actually, it ranks fourth. The Stancado's got 8 stolen bases. The 3-1 is a line drive, little looper, and it goes foul third base side. So now the count's full. That's a tough one, though. 3-1 count. You're looking for a fastball, and you get that 75-mile-an-hour curveball. And that's part of what makes Baker so effective is he's throwing breaking balls and fastball counts, really mixing things up. A 3-2. Fastball misses outside, and that's the 31st walk for Pell this season. For Andrew Baker, that's his 15th walk on the mound. First walk issued by Baker tonight, and that will bring up Gio Ferraro. Ferraro, second-year pro, hitting .374 with 9 homers and 41 RBIs. .901 slugging percentage. He's got 8 doubles on the season. So 17 of his 40 hits this year have been for extra bases. Right-handed hitter with some power. Pell with a good lead at first, dancing around. Baker fires to the plate. That one misses low and inside for ball 1. Ferraro, 6'3", 215 pounds, out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 24 years old. The next pitch. That one misses. Counts 2-0. Well, I see some people ordering Lucky Slice Pizza, and I could certainly go for that. I'll have some Lucky Slice Pizza after the game. The 2-0, swing and a miss. As that one was 84 miles an hour, and because of the effectiveness of the off-speed pitch, that 75-mile-an-hour curve, it makes that 84-mile-an-hour fastball just look a little bit quicker. Baker checks a runner at first, takes his time, and delivers a 2-1. That one's foul back to the screen. Raptors all year are going with those old school signs from the catcher. Great Falls, who we saw this past weekend, was going with PitchCom. Looks like Boise's kind of going with those old school signals. One's a fastball, two's a curve, and so on. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ferraro. Wiggling the shillelagh over his right shoulder. Next pitch, line drive, left field, base hit. As it's played by Califoot. Holding up at second base is Bradley Pell. That's the second hit for the Raptors tonight. That one was on the inner half. It was a breaking ball, 74 miles an hour, and Ferraro with a Tony Gwynn special between the third baseman and shortstop. So that'll bring up Efren Monzo, as looks like a meeting at the mound as manager Sean Persky is going to go talk with his left-hander. Manzo hitting .295 with 1 homer and 13 RBIs. Busy night here on this Tuesday in the Pioneer League. Billings and Idaho Falls are playing a doubleheader in Billings, a makeup of a May 31st game. And how about those Chuckers? They swept Boise in a 3-game series last weekend, and Idaho Falls in the top of the 7th lead the mighty Billings Mustangs 10-3. Boy, Billings has been outstanding this year. In fact, Billings and Long Beach are tied for first in the Pioneer League standings. They've won 3 in a row and are 8-2 in their last 10 games. But the Chuckers, top of the 7th in that 7-inning game, which is game 1 of 2 played in Billings tonight. Chuckers lead 10-3. The Glacier Range Riders have a 2-0 lead at Great Falls. That's in the bottom of the second. Remember, Great Falls was here for 9 games in the month of June. Top of the 3rd inning, Missoula has a 2-0 lead at home against the Red Pocket Mobiles. Modesto and Yuba Sutter, as well as Oakland and Long Beach, are just getting underway. Manzo, the right-handed hitter, wiggles the bat back and forth. The runner from second takes off. Throw to third is going to be safe, and taking off for second is Ferraro. So Pell took off for third on the pitch, and then once the throw came into third base, Ferraro took off to second, and he slid in safely without a throw. So a very creative double steal for the Raptors. Pell gets his 8th stolen base of the year, and Ferraro on the back end of the double steal gets his 8th of the year as well. The pitch to the plate was a strike to Manzo, and the 0-1 is a swing and a miss. So the count's 0-2. As you mentioned with the left-hander on the mound, we're not seeing Garrett Bavak or Sebastian Greco here tonight. Tyler Gannis, Hank Dodson also out. We'll probably see him a little bit later on, especially if the game is pretty close. Raptors looking to put up a crooked number here in the bottom of the second to respond to Boise's 4 runs in the top of the second. As Manzo fouls it out first base side. Manzo previously played with the Glacier Range Riders, native of Chandler, Arizona, which is actually the same place that Aiden Shoemaker's from. Then Jason Schaff, the winning pitcher on Sundays from Las Vegas. So a lot of guys used to the warm weather. Next pitch to Manzo's a swing and a miss. As he goes down on strikes, that was that 85-mile-an-hour fastball, but because of all the off-speed pitches that Baker has thrown, that 85 certainly looks a lot quicker. So third strikeout for Baker. Runners at second, third, 2 outs for Dylan Wilkinson. Dylan hitting .338 with 2 homers, 15 RBIs. He has walked 22 times and struck out just 12, so he's a pretty good contact hitter. Wilkinson, left-handed hitter, wiggles the bat back and forth. Pretty tough matchup against the left-hander Baker. Baker with a 3-quarter delivery, delivers strike 1. That was an off-speed pitch at 73 miles an hour. And because Baker doesn't necessarily come over the top the way Caleb Bunch does for Ogden, Baker's pretty tough on lefties. And that's a big reason as to why Bavacqua and Greco are not in the starting lineup. The 0-1, get me over curve, and that misses just high. As mentioned before, Bank of Utah Tuesday, which is every Tuesday home game here at Lindquist Field. 4th of 7 straight games here at home as Baker steps off. If I remember right, it's the 7th meeting this season between the Raptors and Hawks. First time that Boise's been here this season. A couple weeks ago, the Raptors were in Boise for a 6-game set where they split, both teams winning 3 games. Next pitch misses low, counts 2-1. On deck, we head back to the top of the order for Chase Valentine. So already 3 stolen bases. We had the double steal with Pell and Ferraro. Raptors now have 80 stolen bases on the year. RBI spot for Wilkinson. The 2-1 is tap foul off the glove of the catcher, Matt Long, as Matt Long shakes his left hand back and forth. Deuces are wild here at Lindquist Field. Pretty good Tuesday night crowd. In fact, Ogden and Boise are the top 2 attended teams in the Pioneer League. Raptors lead the Pioneer League in attendance once again this season. The 2-2, breaking ball called, strike 3. It's going to be challenged by Wilkinson. The 2-2 was a called strike 3. It's going to be challenged by Wilkinson. Red pocket mobile strike zone challenge. And the pitch is overturned to a ball. So the inning continues, and the count's now 3-2. Both runners will get good leads. 4-0 Boise, but the Raptors are looking to do something here in the bottom of the second. Looks like they're facing a tough customer and Andrew Baker tonight. Baker comes set, and it's kind of a low set. High late kick, and he delivers, and that one is fouled off the netting as Wilkinson got jammed a little bit on that inside pitch. Raptors lead the league in attendance, averaging 3,332 fans per game. Boise is second, averaging 3,208. Raptors have played a fun brand of baseball all year. The 3-2, low ball 4. So Wilkinson works a walk with help of a successful red pocket mobile strike zone challenge. And that'll bring up Chase Valentine, who's a power threat at the plate. Valentine spent the last 4 years in the San Diego Padres organization. To lead off the bottom of the first, he had a double, which was his 24th of the year. He does have 8 homers. Raptors have hit some grand slams this season here at Lindquist Field. Valentine looking to do so. A grand slam would tie the game. First pitch, that one misses just inside. That was an off-speed pitch that Valentine kind of lunged his elbow out of the way. Valentine with the high socks, and the socks are a teal color. Pell's the runner at third. Ferraro's at second. Wilkinson at first. The 1-0. Fastball that misses outside. That was 86 miles an hour. That's about as hard as we've seen Baker throw this evening. Kind of a calm, quiet Tuesday night. Baker with kind of a low set, high late kick, and he fires. And that one is a called strike. That's going to be challenged by Valentine. Red pocket mobile strike zone challenge. Let's see what it is. Close pitch could go either way. And the pitch is overturned to a ball. So it's the second successful red pocket mobile strike zone challenge here in this inning. Now the count's 3-0 with the bases loaded. One more wide one would bring in a run. As Baker looking to throw a strike here. The 3-0 fastball called strike. Kind of the complimentary variety, but it did catch the outer half in the zone. Raptors 10-8 here at home, a record of 21-15 overall. Boise 20-16. They are 4-8 away from their friendly confines. Next pitch misses outside, and that will be the 46th RBI for Valentine on the year as Pell scores, and Valentine will trot to first with a walk. And now it's a 4-1 game as Valentine looks up to the heavens and thanks the man upstairs for that base on ball. So that brings up Cole Jordan, who lined out to the second baseman Ethan Underwood in the first inning. So Raptors looking to put up a crooked number. They've already got one on the board. Raptors in the last two games have scored in 13 of 17 innings. That was both on Saturday and Sunday against Great Falls. Jordan, a co-captain, slightly open right-handed stance, and he taps one foul near the Raptors dugout. Raptors wearing the kind of greenish teal caps. I gotta say, teal is my favorite color, so I do like the look in the dugout here this evening. Boise with kind of more of a forest green hat this evening. The 0-1 to Jordan. That one misses outside as Baker's gone to the off-speed pitch quite a bit. Jordan with a multicolored bat. Teal batting gloves, wiggles the bat over his right shoulder. 4-1 Boise. Raptors are looking for more. We're in the bottom of the second. Jordan taps one foul, and it's caught on one hop, about shoulder high by Carmine Lane in the on-deck circle. Boise's been a successful home team. They are 16-8 at home, just 4-8 on the road. Hawks and Raptors have had a similar win-loss record throughout the first half of the season. Baker with a low set, high leg kick, delivers. Jordan with a one-hand tap as it goes towards the Raptors bullpen. Well, it was an inside pitch and it looked like Jordan just kind of one-handed it. His right hand came off the bat. Thanks for hanging out with us this evening. I'm Tyson Whiting. We'll be joined by the voice of the Raptors, Arden Locke, on Friday. Can't beat this setting. Baker gets the old school signs from Matt Lawn, comes set, and he fires. Jordan flies it towards shallow right center field. Underwood calls it, and the right fielder slid towards Underwood's legs, but Underwood was able to make the catch to retire the side. 1 run, 1 hit. There was 3 left. We're through 2 complete. Hawks 4, Raptors 1. You're listening to the Ogden Raptors Baseball Network.
Do you thrive on a challenge? Does crafting complex parts ignite your passion? Peterson Inc. isn't your average manufacturer. We're world-class, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We're looking for skilled welders and machinists to join our team. People who take pride in precision. If you're wanting to contribute to groundbreaking innovations, Peterson Inc. is your place. Visit petersoninc.com and join the team that builds the future.
Don't be a bench warmer. Call the insurance center so that you can get on the field and have a good time and get your insurance done properly. Go Raptors!
Who's pitching?
3 wireless carriers.
Big corporate mobile. Our stock always goes up.
So do your prices. I'm out.
We're cheap.
just like your coverage.
We're Red Pocket, your new ultimate cell carrier. Only we give you all three. No price increases, 2-minute care, and all major networks for your best 5G coverage.
What's your ask?
$10?
You've got a deal. Switch to Red Pocket. Like me, your new ultimate cell carrier.
Welcome back from the break. Tonight's broadcast is presented on the Home Team Network for live video streaming, on YouTube for audio-only coverage, and on 88.9 FM for In the Park Radio.
Now we head to the top of the third inning. Boise 4, Ogden 1. 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up for the Hawks. Tyler Best followed by Ethan Underwood and Jeremiah Begora. First pitch is tapped off of Wilkinson for strike one. Best struck out in the first inning. Third year in the Pioneer League, was with Oakland for parts of the last 2 years. We'll go over some big league scores here in the top of the third inning. We're hanging out in the GCB Computers broadcast booth at Lindquist Field. Well, Tim Broussard and I have kind of a side bet on Pepsi products on the Miami Marlins Colorado Rockies game. Tim's a Marlins fan, and I root for the Rockies. The 0-1, that one misses a little bit low. Marlins and Rockies are through 2 innings. Tim Broussard's club leads mine 2-1. So Marlins have a 2-1 lead. Bottom of the ninth inning, White Sox lead the Orioles 9-3. Swing and a miss. As right-handed hitting Best took him the mighty cut, but came up empty. End of 7 innings, Tigers lead the Yankees 9-2. That featured a epic pitching matchup between Cam Schlittler of the Yankees and Tarek Skubal of the Tigers. Next pitch misses outside, and the count's 2-2. Schlittler must have gotten lit up as he gave up 4 runs in the first and 2 in the third. So looks like Tarek Skubal gets the better of that pitching matchup. End of 8, Mets lead the Blue Jays 2-0. Bunch with a slow wind, fires it over the top. That's tapped off the end of the bat and rolls with a bit of topspin over towards the Boise dugout. Top of the 7th inning, Nationals lead the Red Sox 2-1. Bottom of 7, Cardinals lead the Braves 5-1. After 5 innings, Rays lead the Royals 8-3. Top of the 6th, Brewers have a 6-2 lead over the Reds. Best bounces one foul third base side. Pretty good battle by Tyler Best. He's got pretty good size at 6'1" and 200 pounds, a native of Boise, Idaho. So he's playing for his hometown team. Outfield straight away. The third baseman, Ferraro's playing close to the line. The 2-2, that misses low. The count's now 3-2. Bottom of the 4th inning, Cubs lead the Padres 5-3. Bottom 4, Twins have a 3-0 lead over the Astros. Getting underway in a few minutes, Angels will be at the Mariners, and the Dodgers will be in West Sacramento against the A's. Bouncing ball towards Valentine, gets on 2 hops, fires to first, and there's 1 away. Good play by Chase Valentine, who's displayed outstanding range here so far tonight. Giants and Diamondbacks get underway in a few minutes. A couple games have gone final. Rangers over the Guardians 4-2, and the Phillies defeated the Pirates 8-0 as Christopher Sanchez pitched a shutout. That's the big league scoreboard update. We'll give you another check of the scores during the 7th inning. Ethan Underwood, the batter, strikeout victim in the first inning. First pitch misses inside. Underwood out of Ackworth, Georgia, 26 years old, 6 feet, 200 pounds. In fact, Underwood and Jeremiah Begora each went to the same college. Next pitch, that's a swing and a miss. Begora is currently standing in the on-deck circle. They both attended Young Harris College, which I believe is in Georgia. Underwood was there from 2019 through 2023, and Begora was there from 2023 through 2025. Next pitch from Bunch misses low. Underwood wearing number 14 in the back of his jersey. Kind of a calm breeze. Nothing but sunshine. Swing and a miss. As Underwood put together a pretty good cut. It's his second solid season with the Hawks. Last year he hit .337 with 6 homers and 68 RBIs. This year he's hitting .345 with 1 homer and 30 RBIs. Also has 13 doubles on the season. Next pitch, swing and a miss as Bunch took something off it. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 3rd. So I'll bring up Jeremiah Begora, who's about as tall as anybody you'll see in the Pioneer League, as he is listed at 6'8" and 235 pounds. Both Underwood and Begora, we mentioned they played at the same college, Young Harris College in Georgia. Underwood from Ackworth, Georgia, and Begora, who's at the plate now, is from Cartersville, Georgia. First pitch to Begora, and that one misses outside. Jeremy Begora, 6'8", 235 pounds. Although it looks like with the Hawks, he goes by Jeremiah. Bat held high as he wiggles it over his right shoulder. Next pitch, that misses low. The count's 2-0 to Jeremiah Begora. Outfield for the Raptors has pretty good range. Stancato, Lawrence, and Pell from left to right all have pretty good speed, which is certainly needed in this ballpark. The 2-0. That one misses inside. Counts 3-0. Begora does have a pretty big strike zone, but he does have some patience at the plate. He has walked 14 times this year. In fact, Boise as a club's averaging close to 7 walks. Their offense, next pitch, the 3-0, couldn't get the complimentary strike, so Begora walks on 4 straight. 2 outs, runner at first for Joseph Califoot. Califoot's a third-year Boise Hawk. Before that, played 5 seasons at Edgewood University, which is in Madison, Wisconsin. He was there a different time from Schaff, who was at Edgewood last season. Joseph Schaff, who got the victory on Sunday for the Raptors. He has had 2 very solid starts in an Ogden uniform. First pitch to the left-handed hitting Califoot, misses outside. There's no switch hitters on this Boise club. They have 3 left-handed hitters, and Califoot, actually 4 left-handed hitters, and Califoot's one of them. The 1-0, and that's a lofter towards left center field. And it's going to get down and roll all the way to the wall. Begora runs well for his size. He gets to go around. Throw comes to Valentine. Now to the plate. It hits the edge of the mound and takes a high hop towards Dylan Wilkinson as it's an RBI double for Joseph Califoot, and it's now a 5-1 game. Boy, Begora's a pretty impressive-looking athlete. 6'8", and he looks every bit of it, and it looked like with the long running strides, he beautifully rounded the bases. For Joseph Califoot, that's his 25th RBI of the year. So that brings up Logan Meyer. Right-handed hitter, 6 feet, 200 pounds, out of Billings, Montana. Slightly open stance. First pitch to Meyer. The fastball called strike. So Boise with 4 runs in the second. They've got 1 here in the third. Raptors 1 run in the bottom of the second, and Raptors fans are hoping that Ogden leaving the bases loaded in the second doesn't come back to bite them. Already 6 hits for the Hawks. Next pitch is tap foul towards third base, where manager Sean Persky gets the ball. We'll probably talk with Sean Persky during the bottom of the 4th inning. Both the Hawks and Raptors, top 2 teams in attendance, and both have been staples in their local communities. The 0-2 swing and a miss as Meyer chased strike 3. But the Hawks scored 1 run on 1 hit. The RBI double from Joseph Califoot. We head to the bottom of the third, Boise 5 and the Raptors 1. You're listening to the Ogden Raptors Baseball Network.
Do you thrive on a challenge? Does crafting complex parts ignite your passion? Peterson Inc. isn't your average manufacturer. We're world-class, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We're looking for skilled welders and machinists to join our team. People who take pride in precision. If you're wanting to contribute to groundbreaking innovations, Peterson Inc. is your place. Visit petersoninc.com and join the team that builds the future.
Every journey starts with a dream, and all dreams come with a price. Saving is an uphill climb, but with goals, determination, and the right partner, there's no dream you can't reach. No peak is too high. Bank of Utah provides all the tools and support I need and is with me every step of the way. So what are you waiting for? Start your journey with Bank of Utah today.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
Welcome back from the break. Tonight's broadcast is presented on the Home Team Network for live video streaming, on YouTube for audio-only coverage, and on 88.9 FM for In the Park Radio.
We're in the bottom of the third inning. Raptors looking for a comeback bid as Boise leads 5-1. 3, 4, and 5 hitters do up for Ogden against left-hander Andrew Baker. Carmine Lane into a fielder's choice in the first inning. 1-2. As the Raptors got a leadoff double by Valentine in the first and couldn't find a way to bring him around to score. First pitch to Lane's a called strike. That was 84 miles an hour from Baker. As I mentioned before, Andrew Baker's done a good job getting his off-speed pitch over for a strike, which is a curveball from 74 to 76 miles an hour. That one's a slow breaker at 74, and it's over for a strike. So it counts 0-2 to Carmine Lane. I'm hanging out in the GCB Computers broadcast booth having a Pepsi product, and we thank everybody for joining us on this Tuesday. Next pitch misses outside. See a few fans with their Lucky Slice pizzas. Certainly a big box. Because that big box is so big, hopefully somebody will get us a slice here in the GCB Computers broadcast booth. As Lane bounces it to second. Backhand scoop by Underwood. He fires to first, a high throw, but Gora luckily is 6'8", and he comes down on the bag for the first out. Boy, nice backhand stab by Underwood. His throw was high, but he has the tallest first baseman in the league in Begora. And Begora leaped, made the catch, and stepped on the bag to get the out. So that brings up Kyler Stancato, who was a strikeout victim in the third inning. Hoping to get a Raptor burger from O-Town Grill at some point during this game. Hopefully somebody's listening to the broadcast over there and gets this one. First pitch, Stancato misses high for ball one. First of 4 straight here at Lindquist Field, and then the scene shifts with 2 games against these clubs in Boise, July 4th and 5th. Next pitch is a called strike. That was a fastball from Baker. One of the fun things about the strategy of baseball is those games within the game, and in particular the matchup between the pitcher and the batter. The 1-1, and that is lifted foul off the top of the netting, third base side. And with Baker, it's pretty fun to watch because he's able to get multiple pitches over for a strike. You know, he doesn't have the strongest fastball, but when you are constantly getting that slow curve over, it makes that fastball look that much quicker. Next pitch, as Baker overthrew it and went in the dirt. That counts 2-2 to the hot-hitting Kyler Stancato. On deck is Colson Lawrence. Those sort of intricacies and strategies to the game are part of why I enjoy baseball so much. In particular, that chess match, that constant chess match between the pitcher and the hitter, which goes on all game. Baker kicks and fires. Stancato swings and misses. That was a slow curve out of the zone, and Stancato just couldn't help himself as he went chasing after it. So that brings up Colson Lawrence. That's the 4th strikeout for Baker this evening. That brings up Lawrence, who was a strikeout victim in the second. Lawrence got a strong arm, runs well. He's got outstanding tools. He's the type of player that scouts love to watch. Right-handed hitter, slightly open stance. Baker gets the sign, and he fires. And Lawrence lifts one towards shallow right field. Under it is Folds, and he'll make a catch over his right shoulder to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down go the Raptors in the bottom of the third. We head to the 4th. Boise 5, Ogden 1. You're listening to the Raptors Baseball Network.
At GCB Computers, we specialize in high-quality, refurbished computers that save you money without sacrificing performance. We believe in use it before you buy it. Come into our showroom, power up your future computer, and test it out yourself so you can buy with confidence. Visit GCB Computers online at www.gcbcomputers.com or call 385-515-1797. That's GCB Computers, the computer you need at a price you can afford.
Hi, I'm Christopher with Absolute Comfort Heating and Air, and I would do anything to keep my customers comfortable. And when it comes to family, I would do anything for love. I'd fix just about anything. You know I would do anything for you. I won't do that.
But you won't do that.
At Absolute Comfort, I'll do whatever it takes to keep you comfortable.
Raptor fans, Tara Carney, your local Allstate insurance agent, wants you to know you are always in good hands with Allstate. They can help with all your insurance needs, from protecting your auto and property to your family's future with life and financial services and everything in between. Give Tara a call at 801-606-4547 or email her at tara@allstate.com for a free quote. You can even stop by her office on the corner of 20th and Washington. And remember, you're always in good hands with Allstate.
Hey, gang, you're watching Ogden Raptors professional baseball right here on the Raptors Baseball Network. Ciao, baby.
We head to the top of the fourth. Boise leads 5-1. Caleb Bunch's first pitch to Parker DePasquale is a little bit out. Well, that's a called strike. 75 miles an hour. DePasquale, his father's in attendance. We'll talk with him during the bottom of the fifth. Next pitch is a pop-up, shallow right field. Pell, battling the sun, settles under it and makes the catch for the first out. Caleb Bunch has struck out 6, but the Hawks have 5 runs on 6 hits, and they've got a lead as we're in the top of the fourth. 1 out, nobody on for Caden Matlon. We do have a text line here in the GCB Computers broadcast booth. You can text the booth at 385-240-1121. Matlon, who's catching tonight, right-handed hitter, first pitch from Bunch. That one is a called strike at 89 miles an hour. That's about as hard as we've seen Bunch throw this evening. Bunch shakes off Wilkinson. Now Wilkinson with another sign. Bunch says yes and fires. And that one misses low. Counts 1-1. Matlon played at the University of Akron last year from Grain Valley, Missouri. 2 years ago, played at Abilene Christian University. The 1-1 is fisted foul first base side as Bunch got in his kitchen and jammed Matlon. Fun night of baseball here at Lindquist Field. Raptors looking to get the bats going in the bottom of the fourth as Andrew Baker on the Boise side has done a pretty good job. Next pitch, that one misses just a little bit outside. And the count's now 2-2. Both teams hoping for losses for Billings and Long Beach. As that next one's tapped off the ankle of Wilkinson. Count stays 2-2. Looks like both teams will get a little bit of help in favor of the Idaho Falls Chuckers, as the Chuckers and Billings Mustangs are playing a doubleheader. In the first game of that doubleheader, Idaho Falls wins 10-3. Bunch pitches. That one's fouled back to the screen. Off the end of the bat of Matlon. A lot of fans enjoying their Pepsi products and Mountain Dew. I know I got a Mountain Dew before the game. Bunch says yes. Slow windup, fires over the top. And that one misses a little bit low on the sinking fastball, and the count goes full to Caden Matlon. On deck is Darrell Jackson, who had a 2 RBI double in the second inning, which right now that's probably the biggest hit of the game on either side. Some birds flying overhead as they're hoping to get some food. Almost looks like those birds are scouting out which food is in which sections, and hopefully they're hoping that after the game there's still some leftovers. Next pitch, that one misses low, and it's ball 4. Good at bat by Caden Matlon, who gets a 1-out walk. Hey, Raptors fans, when enjoying a ball game here at Lindquist Field, make sure to check out the Raptors souvenir stand. Whether it's the official player game caps and jerseys to golf shirts, t-shirts, and novelties, the Raptors have everything to make up your fan support. We even have ladies' designs. The souvenir stand is behind home plate on the lower concourse. Now, for all you Raptors fans spread across this great country and abroad, simply go to OgdenRaptors.com, where you will find all Raptors merchandise. That one's tapped foul near the Raptors bullpen. Be a part of the Raptors family by sporting your favorite souvenir and apparel items. You'll be the talk of town when you wear your sweet-looking Ogden Raptors gear. I know I was contemplating getting a Raptors jersey that looks very similar to what they're wearing on the field tonight. I still might get it. I have to talk myself into it in the top of the 6th. Next pitch. That one's a fly ball to right field. Pell, just in front of the warning track, makes the catch for the second out. Bradley Pell's been busy this evening, and he did a pretty good job battling the sun and settling under the Jackson fly ball. So back to the top of the order for A.J. Folds. Well, the roster goes by Austin Folds, but when we do a Google search for him, A.J. kind of is at top of mind. 26 years old, out of Dallas, Texas. Folds has struck out twice, so he's hoping to not get the hat trick. Both guys from the Metroplex area. Caleb Bunch from Plano. Next pitch. That's a called strike. Actually, first pitch to Folds. I don't know, they call it the Metroplex in Dallas, but does it really supply to like Arlington area, or is the whole area you just call it the Metroplex? Plano's kind of a suburb there of Dallas, not that far away. Next pitch, that's tap foul. Counts now 0-2. I think that Frito-Lay chip company is originated in Plano. Pretty nice area. I think the Dallas Stars, the NHL team, might actually move towards the Plano area. If not Plano, somewhere nearby. The 0-2 to Folds. That one misses inside. I know Dallas was one of those places when I visited a handful of years ago. It was a pretty fun place. Always something to do in Dallas. A.J. Folds probably knows all the good areas in town. Caleb Bunch probably does as well. The 1-2 runner takes off, and Folds bounces one to third. Up with its Ferraro. Crowheps fires to first, and there's 3 away. That retires a side. No runs. There was one walk, and he was left on base. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Boise leads 5-1. You're listening to the Ogden Raptors Baseball Network.
Who's pitching?
3 wireless carriers.
Big corporate mobile. Our stock always goes up.
So do your prices. I'm out. We're cheap, just like your coverage.
We're Red Pocket, your new ultimate cell carrier. Only we give you all 3. No price increases, 2-minute care, and all major networks for your best 5G coverage.
What's your ask?
$10.
You've got a deal. Switch to Red Pocket, like me, your new ultimate cell carrier.
At the Prairie Schooner, you can dine in a covered wagon while enjoying our delicious hand-cut steaks, fresh seafood, and signature desserts. Go to prairieschoonerrestaurant.com or call us at 801-392-2712 to reserve your table today.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
LWE has become an industry leader and performed new construction and retrofit work to companies in several industries. LWE is located in northern Utah and has performed work throughout the western United States. We can be reached at 801-621-3220.
Now we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Boise leads Ogden 5-1 as we're joined by Hawks manager Sean Persky in the first base dugout. And for those that maybe haven't seen your club yet this season, what's kind of been the identity of the Boise Hawks so far this year?
Young and scrappy, for sure. Got a great group of guys. Spent a lot of time this offseason bringing this group together. And they've all bought into the culture that we're building here in Boise, and very glad to have each and every one of them here.
I know Parker's from the areas. He's from Bountiful, Utah, just a little bit south of here. What's he meant to the club this season?
He's been awesome. Had a lot of years going against him in the Pecos League, and got to see him play a lot. And it's been great having him on the same team for once.
Andrew Baker's displayed an outstanding curveball. He's done a great job mixing things up. What have you seen from your left-handed hurler so far this evening?
Baker's been filling it up, kind of got a little lost there in the bottom of the second inning. Ogden did a great job of working counts and, had some smart challenges that went their way there. But altogether, he's been filling it up like he has for us this whole season. So very glad anytime look out there and see Andrew on the bump for us.
Last question, Jeremy Begora. He's 6'8", but he rounded those bases pretty well, getting all the way from first on that double in the third inning. He's a guy that was with the club last season. And what have you seen from Jeremy so far this year?
You know, he's like a deer. So once he starts going, it's you know, he gets in those legs pretty good, and with the big strides, he's able to get around the base path pretty good. So him and every other guy know that anytime we're in between the lines, we're going to be working regardless of what the score is. So he knows to push it.
Sean, thanks for the time. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
That's Sean Persky, the Boise manager, as Bradley Pell leads things off in the bottom of the fourth, and there's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gio Ferraro's on deck. He'll be followed up by Efren Manzo, as it's the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for the Raptors here in the fourth, as Pell flies one towards right center field. It's a little bit shallow. Chasing after it, making a diving catch is Logan Meyer. Well, he kind of got a slow jump on it. Ball just hung in the air an hour and a half, and Meyer made a nice diving catch for the first out. Boy, Meyer got on his horse, and well, that was a beautiful play as the right fielder, Folds, had to stand and applaud at that one. So nice play by Logan Meyer. I'll bring up Gio Ferraro. Andrew Baker in his 4th inning of work. He's allowed just 2 hits. First pitch, breaking ball outside. Ferraro singled in the second inning and stole a base. Raptors have already stolen 3 bases this evening. Next pitch, that's a called strike. And remember, they're in that second inning. Raptors wouldn't have scored a run had Wilkinson not had a successful challenge there in the bottom of the second. So as the manager, Sean Persky, mentioned, the successful challenges kept the inning going, and eventually the Raptors scored a run. They're hoping for a little bit more, but they left the bases loaded, and the Raptors are hoping that doesn't come back to bite them. Looks like a right-hander's loosening up for Ogden, and it's Dylan Gardner, the tall righty. The 2-1 to the plate. That one misses outside. Counts 3-1 to Gio Ferraro. Bottom of the 4th inning, 5-1 Boise. And the 3-1, swing and a miss. That's kind of tough, and that's kind of the hallmark of Baker so far this evening, is that you get a 3-1 count. Ferraro's hoping for a fastball, knows that Baker's thrown that off-speed pitch for a strike, and it was a strike, and Ferraro was just out in front of it. And the payoff pitch. Ferraro lifts it foul, first base side now to play. As I mentioned, the fun chess match between the pitcher and the batter, which is nonstop, and Andrew Baker has done a great job kind of winning that so far. It's Baker's 3rd Pioneer League season. Next pitch, that one misses low for ball 4. So Ferraro walks. There's 2 walks in the second inning. It's the 4th walk issued by Baker. That brings up Efren Manzo, hitting .295, 1 homer, 13 RBIs. He struck out in the second inning. Manzo, right-handed hitter, pretty good size, 6'1", 215 pounds, out of Chandler, Arizona. First pitch from Baker. That one misses low. Check swing, did he go around? First base umpire Rob Minter says Manzo held up. Everybody having a good time tonight. Looks like a big line over at the O-Town Grill. If anybody's listening to the broadcast, make sure to get us a Raptors burger here for the GCB Computers broadcast booth. We're just behind home plate. I'm the guy with the headset on, just in case you want to bring it up here. 2 balls, no strikes to Manzo with Dylan Wilkinson on deck. 1 out, 1 on. The 2-0, high late kick by Baker. Pitch is a swing and a miss. Pick off throw to first. Back safely is Ferraro. Gio Ferraro was in the back end of a double steal in the second inning. It was his 8th stolen base of the year. Dylan Gardner, the right-hander, continues to loosen up for Ogden in the bullpen, as Caleb Bunch has worked 4 innings for the Raptors. Swing and a miss as Manzo went fishing on that tough curveball. Some of the great curveballs I've seen in history. Burt Blyleven, the 70s and 80s, had a brilliant curveball. Kind of see a lot of people go with the slider these days. As Joe Garagiola used to say, he used to call those curveballs the old drop pitch. That's what they always said in the playground. Baker comes set, checks Ferraro, who's got a modest lead. Pick off throw to first. Ferraro's back. I think Ferraro enticed to throw as he was kind of leaning towards his right foot, which is towards second base, and that's why Baker threw over. Manzo kind of leaning on his right leg a little bit. The 2-2 from Baker. Check swing, and the home plate umpire says that Manzo went around. Well, it looks like it was close, but Manzo doesn't argue it, and he's a strikeout victim in the fourth. So that brings up Dylan Wilkinson, who walked in the second inning. He was the guy that had struck out looking, then had the successful challenge that was on a 2-2 count. Wilkinson eventually worked a walk, and then when Chase Valentine walked after him, that brought in a run. If Wilkinson would have struck out and if there was no challenge system, then the Raptors wouldn't have scored in the second inning. First pitch to Wilkinson's a called strike. That was at 72 miles an hour and found the zone in the outer half. Bottom of the fourth, 5-1 Boise. Ferraro kind of leaning on his right leg a little bit. He's out to a pretty good lead. Baker checks him, fires to the plate. Wilkinson gets jammed and lofts it towards left field. On his horse's Califoot, and he makes a nice running catch over his right shoulder to retire the side. No runs, one walk, and he was left. We're through 4 complete. It's Boise 5 and Ogden 1. You're listening to the Raptors Baseball Network.
Whatever you do, don't drop the ball at the Raptors Stadium. And we don't want to let you drop the ball for your insurance. We want to make sure that you have the proper coverage and the best price. Here at the Insurance Center, we're going to take care of you. We've had a great relationship with the Raptors, and we want to have a great relationship with you. Your auto, your home, your life, your health, your business. We have experts that are there to take care of you. We've been doing this for a long time. We are your trusted choice insurance agency here locally. We are the only best practice insurance agency north of Salt Lake. Realize that we're going to take the best care of you. Give us a call, 801-622-2626. Look us up online, www.insurancecenterut.com. We're here to take care of you and hit the ball out of the park.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
Now we're in the top of the 5th inning, 5-1 Boise over your Raptors. New pitcher for Ogden is Dylan Gardner. Caleb Bunch worked 4 innings, called the bullpen, goes out to Gardner, and he's now on the mound. Tall right-hander, first pitch. That's a little bit high, but it's going to be challenged by Wilkinson. This is going to be close. Red pocket mobile strike zone challenge. That first pitch is overturned to a strike. So that's how Gardner's outing starts. For Dylan Gardner, it's his 13th appearance. He has made 2 starts, has a 2-2 record with an 8.14 earned run average. First batter here in the 5th inning is Tyler Best, right-handed hitter. Next pitch, that's a swing and a miss. 89-mile-an-hour fastball from Gardner, and the count's 0-2. Gardner on the year has worked 21 innings. He has given up 22 hits, 20 runs. He has walked 19 and struck out 18. Pioneer League batting just .259 against the tall right-hander. Next pitch misses inside to Tyler Best. Gardner, 6'5", 210 pounds, out of Meridian, Idaho. 24 years old, gets a sign from Wilkinson. Gardner with the slow windup and the pitch. And Best lifts one foul, count stays 1-2. So for Caleb Bunch, he worked 4 innings. He gave up 6 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned. He walked 2 and struck out 6. Bunch made 78 pitches, and 51 of them were strikes. The 1-2. That's in the dirt, scooped up on a backhand by Wilkinson. So Bunch did a pretty good job in getting control, but he gave up those 5 hits in the second inning, allowing 4 runs. And didn't allow, he only allowed 1 other hit, and that was in the third inning. So really, it was just that second inning. Next pitch inside, and Best gets out of the way. The count goes full here as Best is the leadoff hitter in the top of the 5th. It's really for Caleb Bunch, you got to look at that 4-inning appearance, and really if you take away the second, he pitched pretty well. Next pitch that misses low, and it's ball 4. As Best draws a walk here to lead things off in the top of the 5th. For Tyler Best, that's his 23rd walk of the year. So that brings up Ethan Underwood, who has struck out twice. So he's hoping to not get the hat trick as he looks over the signs from manager Sean Persky, who we talked with in the bottom of the 4th. Best with a good lead at first. Boise not necessarily a running team. Underwood bunts. It's scooped up by Gardner on one hop. He underhand tosses to first for the out. It is a successful sacrifice fly, or sacrifice bunt, as Best advances to second. So I'll bring up Jeremy Begora. And now they're going to check on Gardner. He kind of stumbled a little bit, kind of an awkward step as he was fielding the ball. And so Mackenzie Booth, the athletic trainer, is going to come out and make sure that Dylan Gardner's okay. And Evan Parker, the Raptors manager, is coming out as well. As it was a bunt, it was kind of an awkward step that Gardner had made as he tries to put some weight on his right foot. Gardner started the year as a starter, made 2 starts, and has worked out of the bullpen ever since. Kind of works in those situations when the starter doesn't go too deep into the game. As I mentioned with Caleb Bunch, if you take away that second, he pitched pretty well. As Gardner looking over with his right leg, flexing it back and forth, hoping that he's able to stay in the game. 5th inning check of the Raptors defensive alignment. Kyler Stancato is in left, Colson Lawrence in center, and Bradley Pell in right. Ferraro's the third baseman, Valentine's at short, Jordan at second, and Manzo at first. Battery of Wilkinson catching, and Gardner on the mound is Gardner with a warm-up toss to see if he's okay. And now he's going to take a second toss. This one's a changeup. And Gardner says he's ready to stay in the game. He's ready to go. So Evan Parker and the athletic trainer, Mackenzie Booth, will walk back to the third base dugout. Begora's the batter. He's had a good game. He has scored twice, singled in the second inning, walked in the third. And he looked like a gazelle around the bases. As for his size, looked like he ran pretty smoothly. I imagine with his height, a lot of people ask him if he played basketball or plays basketball, and I think he did as a youth. Kind of hard not to when you're that size. First pitch to Begora. That one catches the outside corner. Or Begora doesn't think it hit the outside corners. It's going to be a challenge. We've seen a few successful challenges by players on both sides. Red pocket mobile strike zone challenge. And the pitch. Called a strike, and now it's going to be overturned to a ball. So we've seen a few overturns here, and Begora was correct on that first pitch from Gardner. Dylan Gardner looks at the signs from Wilkinson. Kind of a sequence of signs with the runner at second. As Best is there with 1 out. Next pitch to Begora is lifted towards left center field. Best looking at it, and Stancato makes a diving attempt but can't come up with a baseball. Best takes off for third, and he slides in safely. It looked like Begora just got jammed a little bit, didn't get all of it, and Stancato with a nice diving attempt and just couldn't come up with the baseball. So runners at first and third with 1 out, and that brings up Joseph Califoot to the plate. Califoot's already put together a solid start as he doubled and scored in the second and had an RBI double in the third. That one in the third was the one that we were talking about with Begora running like a gazelle, scoring all the way from first. Califoot, left-handed hitter, slightly open stance. First pitch is in the dirt. It goes past Wilkinson. Begora takes off to second, but holding up at third is best as the ball just kind of trickled halfway from the plate to the backstop as Wilkinson was able to recover. So it will be a wild pitch to allow Begora to advance to second. And now that takes away the double play possibility, and that's what makes that pitch loom large. It's 2-0 to Joseph Califoot. Logan Meyer, who made that outstanding defensive play. In the bottom of the fourth inning, he's on deck. Gardner comes set about waist high, takes a deep breath, kind of a closed stance from the stretch position, and he kicks and fires. And that one's lifted out of play, third base side. The fan tried to make a catch and couldn't come up with a baseball. Give that an error on the fan there as they tried to make the play, although they weren't wearing a glove, so it's one of those, a tough play when you're not wearing a glove. There have been some nice barehanded catches in professional competition over the years. Kevin Mitchell in 1989 against the Cardinals. Next pitch, that's towards Valentine. It goes past him and into left center field. One run scores. Begora is going to be held up at third. And they're probably going to rule that in E6. It wasn't hit all that hard, and it just went under the left arm of Valentine as the infield was playing in, and it's now a 6-1 game. That was kind of a tricky hop for Valentine. Maybe it was a little bit higher than he had thought it was going to be. Scoring was best, but Begora holds up at third. There's now runners at the corners for Logan Meyer. It is going to be ruled an error on Valentine. First for the Raptors tonight, and for Ogden, it's their 50th error of the season. First pitch, that one misses inside to Meyer. For Valentine, that's his 12th error of the year. Meyer, the batter. Parker DePascali is on deck. We'll talk with his father during the bottom of the fifth inning. The 1-0. That's a called strike, 83 miles an hour. Meyer came into play this evening, hitting .317 with 4 homers, 37 RBIs. Meyer, pretty strong build, 6 feet, 200 pounds, out of Billings, Montana, 24 years old. Previously played professional with the Tucson Sagaros. Runner at first takes off, pitches inside. Wilkinson doesn't make a throw. It's going to be a stolen base as Califoot takes second on the stolen base on that inside pitch, which was kind of a tough one for Wilkinson to handle. And with that, the double play possibility is once again no longer in effect, or at least the traditional type of double play. And with that, the infield moves in. For Califoot, that's his third stolen base of the year. Both clubs been aggressive on the base pass tonight. 2-1. Breaking ball misses high. The count's now 3-1. Ogden hoping to limit the damage here because a couple more runs. And yeah, you never know in the Pioneer League, and the Raptors can score in bunches. They're one of the best offensive clubs in the Pioneer League, but want to keep it within realistic striking range. Gardner takes a deep breath, comes set, and fires. Bouncing ball to Jordan. It goes past him and into right center field for a base hit. Begora scores. Califoot rounding third. The throw comes into second. It's a 2-run single by Logan Meyer. And it's now 8-1. That was one of those where Jordan went to the backhand. It was hit 80 miles an hour off the bat. Jordan would be the first to tell you he should have had it. But it does look like they're going to rule it as a base hit. Well, they might be still looking at it. It would be Boise's 8th hit, but they haven't posted on the scoreboard whether it's a hit or an error as of yet. First pitch to DePascal is a called strike. Parker DePascali, born in Salt Lake City, lives in Bountiful, Utah, went to Bountiful High School where he won a Utah State championship. Gardner comes set, takes a breath, and fires. Swing and a miss. DePascali played in 14 games with Ogden during the 2024 season, went 2 for 18 at the plate. Had a pretty good season at the plate for the Boise Hawks. Had an RBI in the second inning. He has 23 on the year. No balls, 2 strikes. And the 0-2 is lifted foul, first base side now to play. DePascali's celebrating a birthday this week. In fact, He will have a birthday on Sunday, July 5th. So that's coming up here pretty soon. He'll turn 29. Next pitch, check swing to go around. Well, it looks like it's a called strike because DePascali's challenging. It was a check swing, but, you know, they're going to be looking at red pocket strike zone challenge. And the pitch is overturned to a ball. It was a check swing. I think if you're Wilkinson, you try to ask if he swung at the pitch. Now they're going to look at the first base umpire. Did you go around? First base umpire says no. They might have caught the first base umpire daydreaming a little bit. Looked like it was pretty close to a swing, but Wilkinson can't believe it as he looks into the Raptors dugout. The count is 2-2. So the Deuces are wild here at Lindquist Field. Pitch from Gardner as tap foul off of Wilkinson's glove as Wilkinson pounds his glove with his right hand. That's one of those catchers will tell you it's kind of a guessing game, just kind of a quick reaction on those foul tips. Can't really plan for him, you just have to react as it comes to towards your glove so quickly. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner with a modest lead at first, and that's Logan Meyer. Pickoff throw to first. Meyer's back safely. Fans heading towards the O-Town Grill. I'm looking to get down there here in a couple innings. Gardner holds onto the ball for a few seconds in the stretch position. Like a statue, now he delivers. And that one's lifted foul out of play first base side as it goes into the streets. In the bottom of the 5th inning, it will be the 1, 2, and 3 hitters, Valentine, Jordan, and Lane. 8-1 Boise, as Raptors will be looking for a comeback bid here later in the contest. Next pitch, swing and a miss as DePascali chases strike 3 out of the zone. So that's the second out. And that will bring up Caden Matlon. Nobody warming up in either bullpen. Let's check some big league scores. We've obviously are keeping an eye on that Marlins-Rockies game, as Tim Broussard, our executive director, is a Marlins fan, and I root for the Rockies. Bottom of the 5th inning, Tim's Marlins lead my Rockies 5-1. We'll go over some other big league scores here later on as Gardner steps off. Matlon adjusts his batting gloves. A few finals in the big leagues. White Sox over the Orioles 9-3. Rangers defeat the Guardians 4-2. Phillies get an 8-0 shutout over the Pirates. Christopher Sanchez with the clean sheet. First pitch misses high to Matlon. Tigers over the Yankees 9-3. That was billed as a strong pitcher's duel. Tarek Skubal got the better of Cam Schlittler. Mets defeat the Blue Jays 3-0. The 1-0 is fisted foul first base side. Matlon, for a guy that's got a little bit of a lower batting average, as he normally is the backup catcher, he's put together some good swings. But normally with your backup catcher, looking for somebody to just kind of run the ball club from behind the plate. Matlon has done a pretty good job behind the plate for Boise this year. Next pitch, that's in the dirt, blocked by Wilkinson. Wyatt Grant has been the catcher that's caught the majority of the games for the Boise Hawks. Jake Sisto has made 3 starts, and for Matlon, it's his 12th start of the year. So Matlon, number 2 on the Boise depth chart behind the plate. A guy that does provide a pretty good glove, and like a lot of backup catchers, he certainly has some power potential. Next pitch, that's a called strike in the outside corner. Deuces wild here at Lindquist Field. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. On deck is Darrell Jackson. First of a 2-city, 6-game series. First 4 of them here at Lindquist Field. Make sure to get your tickets for later on this week. Next pitch, that's in the dirt, blocked by Wilkinson. And now the count is full. Thirteenth meeting between the clubs this year. It's the first time these teams have met here at Melaleuca Field, as the Raptors played Boise in the first series of the season, and they met 2 weeks ago. Gardner comes set. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Gardner fires, swing and a miss. As Matt Long goes down, as that pitch was high and he couldn't help himself. For the Hawks, they do score 3 runs, and we're halfway through the scheduled 9-inning affair. It's Boise 8, Ogden 1. You're listening to the Raptors Baseball Network.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
Now we head into the bottom of the 5th inning. Boise leads Ogden 8-1. We're joined by the father of the Hawks designated hitter tonight, Parker DePasquale. And one of the big questions you probably get asked is how to pronounce your last name.
Yeah, that's quite often. It's DePasquale.
DePasquale?
Uh-huh. Yep.
How many times, when people try to pronounce it, how often do they get it right? I can't imagine it's a great percentage.
Maybe like 10 or 20%. Not very often. Yeah, it's a little uncommon around here.
So you guys, I think Parker was born in Salt Lake and raised in Bountiful.
Yes, he was. He went to Bountiful High School and won the state championship in 2016. He has been playing in, I think Boise is like his 6th team he's played for, including the Ogden Raptors in 2024.
So it's been kind of a fun journey for him over the years, and I know it's probably a nice one to come back here knowing that the family's going to be around. Are you the only one in the family, or is there other people that are here in attendance?
He has some cousins and nephews that are here, and his girlfriend is here and so on. So, and his high school baseball coach, Boog Stringfellow from Bountiful, is here. So we've had quite a reunion.
How fun was it, though, in high school winning a state championship? I mean, that's a lot of kids' dreams. And I know that not too many of them get to experience something at any level.
Yeah, it was a great experience for them. They had a great team. In fact, they had
Valentine lifts one to right field, and it's fair for a base hit. Valentine with 24 doubles on the year. He chugs around second base, and he's going to hold up with his second double of the game and 25th of the year.
Yeah, they had a great team. They had actually Sam Merrill, who plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Brady Christensen, who plays for the Carolina Panthers NFL. And Trevor Amicone was the assistant coach, who's now coaching with the Minnesota Twins in the big leagues. So he's their assistant hitting coach.
So for a high school, there's some pretty big names on that
Yeah,
team.
it was a great year. And, I don't think they've had one since. But it was a fun year.
If I would have known, I would have tried to go and get some team autographs in that year, with Sam Merrill, Brady Christensen, your son.
Yeah, exactly.
Where was your son hitting in the batting order that year?
He hit third. So he was actually a pitcher. He, in fact, still has several state records in pitching, but he didn't feel he threw fast enough to continue that on, so he went the hitting route.
It seems like it's gone well for him. He's had a pretty good night at the plate. He had that single in the 2nd inning and eventually scored as Cole Jordan bounced one to third, and it's just foul.
Yeah, he's hitting pretty well. He's hitting around 300. He's had, some really good days, and of course, it's baseball, so you're going to have some days when you get the offer, and he's had a few of those too. But overall, he's hitting the ball fairly well.
Well, tell us again how to pronounce your last name.
DePasquale.
DePasquale.
Yeah.
I bet everybody just calls him Parker.
They do. Parker D or Depot or whatever. Yeah.
Valentine dancing around second base. Pitch to Jordan's blocked in the dirt by Matt Lawn. I know Boise, if you're going to be in this league, Boise's about as good a spot as you can get. What's he said about playing in Boise this year?
He likes it there a lot. I would say Boise and Ogden are the two best run franchises in the Pioneer League of the 12 teams that I've seen. He's been fortunate enough to play for both teams. He also played for Billings for a short period of time, and I think 3 years ago, and he liked that. He liked it up there too. But I'd say Ogden and Boise are the two best run franchise.
3 balls, 1 strike to Cole Jordan. Valentine dancing around second. Jordan out in front of it, as that's going to lead to a full count. As Andrew Baker on the mound's done a really good job with his curveball, getting it over for a strike and really mixing things up on these Ogden headers. I understand Parker's got a birthday coming up here pretty soon on July 5th.
Yeah, this Saturday. So he's excited about that. He's getting old, he says.
Jordan will take outside for a ball, and the first 2 have reached for the Raptors here in the 5th. Now, you going to celebrate his birthday a little bit early here, or are you going to go down or go to Boise and celebrate with them?
Well, we'll probably celebrate it here on the 3rd and then go up to Boise on the 4th and 5th when Ogden comes back up there and celebrate it up there. So
it's like Matt Lawn, the catcher, is going to go out and talk with Andrew Baker as Carmine Lane is at the plate. Runners at first and second. Nobody outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Who are some of the people that were instrumental in kind of the development of Parker as a ball player?
Well, his high school coach, Boog Stringfellow, and Trevor Amicone, both those guys worked with him quite a bit his junior and senior year. We had a travel team that traveled, all over the country when he was 12, 13, 14 years old, and a lot of good players. I think 3 or 4 of them went on to play college baseball, and so he started early, went to a lot of camps, and developed.
Carmine Lane, the batter. Runners at first and second, no outs as we're here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Boise leads Ogden 8-1. Valentine dancing around second, and Baker will step off. You had mentioned, Boise and Ogden having maybe the 2 best run franchises in the league, and coincidentally enough, they're the top 2 in attendance in the league. Ogden in first, and then Boise in a close second.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they throw it towards second, and Paul ricochets away, but Valentine just holds up at second.
Yeah, I think they both have good population centers to draw from and rabid baseball fans.
What a beautiful setting here in Ogden.
Yeah, it's the best. I mean, it's one of the best in all of minor leagues.
Valentine with a big lead. Both runners take off. Throw to the plate's a strike, and the throw comes into second, and both runners are safe. Second time we've seen a double steal for the Raptors, and they've now stolen 5 bases here in the first half of this game. You see that a lot at the high school level. A couple double steals, and we've seen 2 or 3 of those here already tonight.
Yeah. You see it at all levels, but a lot in this league.
Next pitch to Lane. That one misses a little bit low. Counts now 1-1. So being in that Bountiful area, did you guys go to Buzz, Stingers, Bees games?
We did.
A little bit.
We used to come to Raptors games too, so it's kind of full circle.
Next pitch to Lane. That one misses low. Counts now 2-1.
Yeah, just a baseball family, and went to as many games as we could. Even went down to the coast, Giants or Dodgers games, Padres. So anytime we could.
2 balls, 1 strike to Carmine Lane. No outs. And he takes inside. Actually, he says it hit him. Now it looks like catcher's going to. Pitch is confirmed a ball, but it's just the third ball to Carmine Lane. The catcher is telling him to come back, and looks like the home plate umpire is going to say, it's only 3. Come on back.
He wants to get down there.
He was hoping for the rare 3-pitch walk as Garrett Bavacqua looks like he's going to try to pinch hit. And now Evan Parker is going to talk with the home plate umpire as to what the count is. Scoreboard had it as 2-1 before the third ball. So Garrett Bavacqua was going to have to wait to pinch hit. Now the count's 3-1 to Carmine Lane. Parker play any sports besides baseball growing up?
He played a little bit of basketball, but found out he was too short for that game.
The problem is he probably is playing one-on-one with Sam Merrill, and he didn't realize he was playing with a future NBA player.
Yeah, he got dominated, that's for sure.
Like some of those guys in high school, they played with some great athletes, and then they think, I can't cut it, but they were probably playing with like some of the best in the country.
Yeah, exactly.
Now the count's full as there's a called strike to Carmine Lane. The right-hander loosens up for the Boise Hawks. Raptors looking to climb back into it. It's 8-1 Boise, bottom of the 5th. Lane swings and misses as Baker gets them. And boy, Baker's put together some pretty good curveballs. That one was a fastball at 84 miles an hour. But like you see a lot of times with guys that have a great curveball that can make their fastball look even faster than it is. And Baker seems to be doing that here this evening.
Yeah, he's keeping him off balance a little bit, changing speeds, and he looks pretty good, actually.
Looks like he's going to be a pinch hitter for Kyler Stancato, and it's going to be Garrett Bavacqua. Left-handed hitter. Bavacqua hitting .420 with 13 RBIs. Now it looks like the pitching coach is going to come out and talk with Baker, maybe go over the scouting report on Bavacqua. Did you know that Garrett Bavacqua, the pinch hitter, he's actually the son of Kurt Bavacqua, the former San Diego Padre.
Oh, I didn't know that. Of course. Yeah, that makes sense. He actually played in the California Winter League with Parker this past January and February down in Palm Springs, and he's a very good hitter.
It's kind of amazing just kind of what a small world baseball is. So it seems like with every sport, they've got their niche, and they've got everybody that seems to somehow know everybody.
Yeah, it is. It's just amazing. It's just a small world. Guys played against each other, on travel teams in high school, and you run into somebody that you played against 5 or 6 years ago. And it's, as you say, it's a small world.
The meeting's been broken up, and Baker's going to stay in there. The right-hander's loosening up with Bavacqua at the plate. Obviously, they're going to stay with the lefty-lefty matchup, and Baker certainly has thrown the ball well. Let's see if we can Parker D pass Squally.
Very good.
All right.
Yeah, you got it down now.
He's a designated hitter for Boise. First pitch to Bavacqua was inside for ball 1. So once Parker got done with high school, it was kind of some of the teams he played for before he got to Boise. Obviously, we know Ogden in 2024 as there's a pop-up towards shallow center field. Shortstop coming after it. Center fielder makes a diving attempt but can't come up with it. Scoring is Valentine's. The throw comes into second, and it's going to be an RBI for Bavacqua, and the Raptors get back on the board. It's now an 8-2 game.
Parker went to Yakima Community College up in Washington, and then down to Texas A&M Texarkana his last 2 years. And from there, I think it's when COVID hit. The next year, he played up in Billings in the Pioneer League, signed and played up in Billings, and kind of moved around, played in the Frontier League for a while up in Canada, was here in Ogden a couple times, actually. Made the team in 24, was a starting center fielder in 24 for first month of the season or so.
Now it looks like the manager, Sean Persky, is going to come out, and we're going to have a pitching change here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Well, thanks for joining us as Parker D. Pasquale's father is here in the GCB Computers broadcast booth. Thanks for hanging out with us here in the bottom of the 5th.
Thanks for having me.
We'll come back and talk about the new right-handed pitcher for Boise. As right now it's an 8-2 Boise lead. You're listening to the Ogden Raptors Baseball Network.
If you're a business owner with one or more employees, you'll need a workers' compensation policy. A workers' compensation policy is required in almost every state. No matter what type of work, if your employee gets hurt on the job, a workers' compensation policy addresses medical care and lost income for injured employees, fatality benefits for families and workers killed on the job, and your potential liability for covered claims. Workers' compensation coverage is divided into two categories: workers' compensation insurance, which helps care for the injured employee, and employer's liability insurance, which protects you. At WCF, we provide safety training, medical care, return to work coordination, and more. When your employee gets hurt on the job, we'll take care of you both.
Now we're staying in the bottom of the fifth inning. We got a new pitcher, and he goes from down under. Submarine-style pitcher, Cheney Trout. No relation to Mike. First pitch to Colson Lawrence is inside for ball one. Runners at first and third. There's one out here in the bottom of the fifth. Boise leads 8-2. Next pitch, submarine-style, fouled back to the screen from Colson Lawrence. For Trout, it's his 18th appearance this year. Pioneer League batters are hitting just 192 against him, and obviously, you don't see a whole lot of submarine-style pitchers, but for Trout, he certainly comes from a unique angle. From the stretch, submarine pitch, and that one's lifted foul first base side. You know, if you go to the team store behind home plate, we got all sorts of good gear. This polo shirt is actually 20% off at the Raptors souvenir stand. You can also get this beautiful-looking teal-colored hat. A lot of good stuff at the team store that you can see here at Raptors games. You can also go to team store online as Lawrence flies one to left field. Under it is Califoot, and he makes the catch. Jordan tags. He'll head to the plate. It's going to be a close play. Jordan dives, and he's in safely for a run. Boy, pretty good throw by Califoot, and Jordan with a head-first dive into home scores the Raptors' third run. So it's a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Colson Lawrence, as that is his 46 run batted in this season. Staying at first base is Garrett Bavakwa, who pinch hit for Kyler Stancato, and that brings up Bradley Pell. Pell 0 for 1. He was the victim of a really good diving catch by Logan Meyer in the fourth inning. Pell, left-handed hitter, open stance, leads the Raptors in walks. First pitch from Trout is a bouncing ball towards second. And with two ups, underhand toss from Underwood to Jackson to get the force out, and that retires the side. We played 5 complete. Raptors scored twice in the fifth inning. We head to the sixth. Boise 8, Ogden 3. You're listening to the Raptors Baseball Network.
Hey there, baseball fans. I'm Ogden Mayor Ben Nadolski, and there's nothing more American than summertime baseball at Lindquist Field right here in the heart of Ogden, USA. From the crack of the bat to the smell of ballpark hot dogs and popcorn, this is where our community comes together and where downtown comes alive. So whether you're here for Raptors baseball, the fireworks, or just a great night with family and friends, you're in one of the most beautiful ballparks in all of America. So let's cheer loud, support our home team, and let's make some memories. Welcome to Lindquist Field, and let's go Raptors.
Whatever you do, don't drop the ball at the Raptors Stadium. And we don't want to let you drop the ball for your insurance. We want to make sure that you have the proper coverage and the best price. Here at the Insurance Center, we're going to take care of you. We've had a great relationship with the Raptors, and we want to have a great relationship with you. Your auto, your home, your life, your health, your business. We have experts that are there to take care of you. We've been doing this for a long time. We are your trusted choice insurance agency here locally. We are the only best practice insurance agency north of Salt Lake. Realize that we're going to take the best care of you. Give us a call, 801-622-2626. Look us up online, www.insurancecenterut.com. We're here to take care of you and hit the ball out of the park.
We head to the top of the sixth inning. Boise leads Ogden 8-3. There have been some defensive changes for the Raptors. Dylan Gardner's first pitch is tapped foul, third base side, off the bat of Daryl Jackson. Garrett Bavankwa stays in the game, and he's going to play in right field. Bradley Pell moves from right field to left, and Kyler Stancato is now out of the game. But remember, with the re-entry rules, we could see Stancato maybe later in the game and maybe on the mound as Jackson flies to center field. Lawrence with a diving catch, and he makes it. Oh, what a beautiful play by Colson Lawrence. Put a star on that one as he made a grade A effort to deny Daryl Jackson of a double. Oh, and a standing ovation. That's got to be a Sports Center top 10 if I've ever seen one. As Jackson is the first out in the top of the sixth on a beautiful play by Colson Lawrence. So I'll bring up A.J. Folds, who's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. First pitch from Gardner. Folds squares the bunt, but pulls the bat back. And it's ball one. Gardner in his second inning of work. Right-hander starts to loosen up for Boise, as Cheney Trout came in to replace Austin Baker. Next pitch, Folds. Little roller up along first, and it goes foul. The right-hander loosening up for Boise is Zan Rose. With Stancato, you might see him bat later in the game, or you might even see him on the mound. Nolan Ficklin's loosening up for the Raptors. Next pitch misses inside. There's only 2 left-handers on the... Actually, now there's a third left-hander as Carson Kelly is now on the Raptors roster. 3 left-handers, but remember Stancato can also pitch, and he's a left-handed pitcher as well. So maybe we'll see him on the mound later on. Next pitch that hits the elbow guard of A.J. Folds. Kind of sounded like it hit off the end of the bat, but the Raptors don't argue the call, and Folds takes first with a hit by pitch. 6th time he's been hit by a pitch this season. That brings up Tyler Best. Interesting enough, there's already 2 Boise Hawks players who have 10 or more hit by pitches this season. Ethan Underwood leads the club at 13. Jeremy Begora has 10. So it brings up Tyler Best, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. Gardner comes set, fires. That one's a called strike. Boy, beautiful setting here at Lindquist Field. Left side of the outfield is covered in shade. Sun in right field, so Bavankwa might have to battle that for the next inning or so. Sun on the mountains. Sunset here shortly. Next pitch misses inside. Counts 1-1 to Tyler Best. Kind of a calm, quiet atmosphere here at Lindquist Field. We're on this Bank of Utah Tuesday. Make sure to join us later on this week as the Raptors will host the Boise Hawks Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. 13th meeting this season between the clubs. Raptors are 5-7 against Boise. Next pitch is off the glove of Wilkinson. That's going to be a pass ball. Advancing to second is going to be on A.J. Folds. Gardner in his second inning of work. Ficklin loosening up in the bullpen for the Raptors. Right-hander Zan Rose loosening up for the Boise Hawks. So these teams are very familiar with each other. It's the first series for these clubs here at Lindquist Field. Previous 12 meetings between the clubs are all in Boise. The 2-1. Fastball called strike. And it's going to be challenged by Best. We've seen a lot of challenges overturned. This time it's confirmed as a strike. Red Pocket Mobile strike zone challenge. I believe Boise's got 1 challenge remaining. The home plate umpire either says raise the roof or reset the pitch clock. Gardner comes set. Checks Folds at second. Looks at him for a good 2 or 3 seconds and fires. And that is a called strike 3. Best can't believe it. As he looks down to the ground, and he now realizes, if he hasn't already, that hitting a baseball is a very tough task. I think he wanted to challenge, but he already was unsuccessful with one challenge and didn't want to use that other one. So that brings up Ethan Underwood. 0 for 2, he had a sacrifice bunt in the 5th inning. As he bounced it back to Gardner, and that's when the trainer and manager came out to check Gardner as he kind of had an awkward step fielding the baseball. Runner at second, 2 outs. First pitch that misses outside. I'm hanging out in the GCB Computers broadcast booth. 7th inning, we'll talk with Eric Kelleher. Get his thoughts from things. Voice of the Raptors, Arden Locke, will be back on Friday. She is out playing Pinehurst number 2. The 1-0, and that's inside. 2-0 to Ethan Underwood. On deck is Jeremy Begora. For the next inning or so, we'll go over another check of the big league scores, including that big matchup between Tim Broussard's Miami Marlins and my Colorado Rockies. There's a fly ball to left center field. That's hanging in the air for a while. Pell under it in the warning track, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. That one hung for 6 seconds, but was caught by Bradley Pell. No runs, no hits. There was one left. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Boise leads Ogden 8-3. It's the Raptors Baseball Network.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Boise leads Ogden 8-3. It'll be Gio Ferraro, Efren Manzo, and Dylan Wilkinson do up as we're joined in the Raptors dugout by Kyler Stancato, who's off to a fast start at the plate this season, hitting .494 coming into play tonight as the first pitch to Ferraro is a swing and a miss from the new pitcher, and that is Zan Rose. And Kyler, to your success so far this season, what kind of work did you put in the offseason early on this season to have the success you're having at the plate?
Yeah, just being able to kind of just get there, do your early work in the offseason, go to the cage, do the simple stuff, just your one-handed drills, tee work, that stuff like that, seeing some live pitching and just live arm.
So when you were growing up, who were instrumental as Ferraro bounced to third and it ricochets off of Best and rolls towards center field. That should be a single for Ferraro with as hard hit as he had it. He's a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 6th. Who were some of the people that were instrumental in your development as a baseball player over the years?
Oh, shoot. Probably my uncle, Mike Blowers. He kind of gave me the dream of playing professional baseball. He played 10 years in the big leagues. And, of course, my dad, being there every day kind of helped me get to the person who I am right now and the baseball player I am today.
Mike Blowers, he had quite the career. He was part of that 1995 Mariners club. Unfortunately, we weren't around there for that fun run that they had in 1995. Unfortunately, we also missed that 2001
club by a year, as you were born in March of 2002. But were the Mariners your favorite team growing up?
Oh yeah, they're still my favorite team. They're my they're my favorite team by far. I mean, because my uncle announced for them for I want to say like 20 years after that, so I'd be able to go to games and stuff like that, and that was awesome. And growing up, my uncle would tell me just some cool stories about him, Jay Buhner, Brett Boone, Hector Martinez, and just like kind of that good core group they had back with the Mariners.
And hey, the colors you guys are wearing tonight, they're pretty reminiscent of Mariners colors.
Oh yeah, that old school royal blue and gold that they used to wear. There's some good looking jerseys.
Yeah, the Mariners, they usually top the league in jerseys as Tyler Gannis is pitch hitting for Manzo, and he takes inside, counts 2-1. Last question from me. You had been pitching a little bit last year and got on the mound a time or two this season. Is that something that you're probably going to ramp up here as the season goes on? Maybe see on the mound a little bit more?
Yeah, of course. Whatever Skip needs me to do, I'll be more than happy to throw. And just throwing bullpen and stuff like that feels good. And yeah, we'll probably ramp it up starting pretty soon.
Well, Kyler Stancato, thanks for joining us, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
That's Kyler Stancato, native of Washington, Mariners fan. Next pitch to Gannis is lifted foul on a hit-and-run situation as Ferraro slides in the second, but it's a foul ball. Counts 1-2 to Tyler Gannis, who's pinch hitting for Efren Manzo here in the bottom of the sixth inning as the Raptors looking to climb back into it, as the score right now is Boise 8 and Ogden 3. So the colors kind of reminiscing what the Mariners wore. They kind of have that, they call it a Northwest green, kind of their version of teal to go along with the navy blue. Pickoff throw, Ferraro was leaning and he's out. As the pitcher Rose points to the catcher, as it looked like the catcher might have called for a pickoff throw. Ferraro took off on the last pitch with a hit-and-run situation, and it looked like Ferraro was leaning towards second, and he was picked off by Zan Rose, the third pitcher used by Boise tonight. A ball and 2 strikes to Gannis, who this season's hitting .268 with a homer and 13 RBIs. Right-handed hitter, he fouls it back to the screen. On deck is Dylan Wilkinson. It's Nolan Ficklin warming up in the Raptors bullpen. Sometimes you find some fun nuggets. I didn't know that his uncle was Mike Blowers, the former Mariners third baseman, who also spent some time with the Yankees and Dodgers. The 1-2 tap foul, first base side near the Boise bullpen. The way he was talking about Mike Blowers sounds like he was able to spend quite a bit of time with him after Blowers' playing career as a broadcaster for the Mariners for many years. Blowers was a third baseman with some good power. I think he had over 20 homers for the Mariners in 1995. Had a pretty strong throwing arm as well. The 1-2 to Gannis, and he'll foul it right field side and out of play into the play area. So Gannis putting together a pretty good battle. One out, nobody on, as Ferraro was picked off at first base from Zan Rose, who's the Boise pitcher, 6 feet, 210 pounds, out of Tampa, Florida. Played previously professionally with the Winnipeg Goldeyes. Rose gets the sign from Matlon. Rose comes set. It's kind of a high set. Close to shoulder high, and he fires. Swing and a miss. Nice off-speed pitch gets Gannis for the second out here in the bottom of the sixth. For Rose, this is his 17th appearance of the year. He's got a 1-2 record with a 3.98 earned run average. He does have 6 saves, which lead the Hawks. He's worked 31 2/3 innings, giving up 35 hits, 18 runs, 14 of them earned. He has walked 12 and struck out, now 32 with the strikeout of Gannis. So he's averaging exactly 1 strikeout per inning, and the Pioneer League is batting .280 against him. Rose, pretty strong lower half. First pitch of Dylan Wilkinson is sliced foul out of play third base side. So it's interesting. You got a guy that saved 6 games and has a pretty good ERA coming in the 6th. It's almost like Sean Persky, the Boise manager, is looking at this as a very important inning to not only keep it a 5-run game and then maybe add on to it, as he knows, as well as everybody in that Boise dugout, what an offense Ogden has. Next pitch, that's a called strike on the outside corner. 86 miles an hour from Rose.
Rose comes set, kind of a closed stance from the stretch, even with nobody on base. Next pitch to Wilkinson, misses outside. On deck is Chase Valentine. So Evan Parker's used a few of his bullets. You knew they would once the left-hander Baker left the game, as Bavacqua pinch hit in the 5th inning, and we've seen Gannis pinch hit as well. Haven't seen Sebastian Greco yet. Wouldn't surprise me if we see him later on in this contest if Ogden needs a long ball. Next pitch misses inside. Deuces are wild here at Lindquist Field. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs as we're in the bottom of the 6th. Fans having a good time. And the 2-2. Check swing. Do you go around? It really wasn't a question as to whether he swung, but whether the pitch was a strike. And that one is called low by the home plate umpire. So it counts 3-2. These teams are used to seeing each other, but not necessarily at this venue. 13th game between the clubs, but the first here in Lindquist. Next pitch that's fouled off the catcher as Wilkinson kind of limping around the first baseline. The count remains full. As Wilkinson kind of walks it off as he got a piece of the catcher and also got a piece of Wilkinson. Dylan Wilkinson out of Fairfax, Virginia. Second-year Raptor, 25 years old, 5'10", 180 pounds. Pretty good crowd here on a Tuesday night. Hopefully we'll see you here tomorrow evening for the second of the 4-game set. Payoff pitch to Wilkinson is a line drive right field, and it's going to get down for a base hit. First hit for Wilkinson tonight. He's now 1 for 2 with a walk, so he's reached base twice, and they'll bring up Chase Valentine. Valentine's been outstanding all season. He's reached base all 3 times. He's got 2 doubles, 2 stolen bases, and RBI mixed in. The RBI actually came on a walk. Wilkinson with some pretty good speed at first. Not sure if he'll take off, though, as I think Parker wants to see Valentine at the plate do something. Don't want to take the bat away from Valentine potentially unless Wilkinson gets a great jump. First pitch, that one misses inside to Valentine for ball 1. Chase Valentine out of Phoenix, Arizona, was actually born in Denver, Colorado. 2 very different markets. 2 very different weather patterns. Both of them Major League Baseball markets. They were expansion franchise in the 1990s. Next pitch to Valentine's a called strike at 86 miles an hour. Speaking of the big leagues, we'll go over some scores in the top of the 7th inning. Looks like my Rockies. Looks like I owe Tim Broussard a Pepsi product here after the game. The 1-1 to Valentine. That's in the dirt. That's scooped up by the catcher, Matlawn. That was an off-speed pitch. Maybe a backdoor slider from Rose. Boise got a pretty good pitching staff. Team ERA of 7.89, which in the Pioneer League is actually pretty good. 2-1. That's fouled out of play, first base side. Valentine wearing the high socks that show kind of a teal color. Very stylish look. Valentine in the Padres organization the last 4 years. Next pitch to Valentine. Runner takes off, and Valentine lifts it to the right side. That's going to hook and slice and twist out of play. Actually, the ball didn't do all that much in terms of twisting and turning, but it goes out of play. Remember, we do have a text line here in the GCB Computers broadcast booth. You can text the booth at 385-240-1121. And if you're tuned into the quote-unquote radio broadcast, the audio broadcast on YouTube, the text line is permanently fixtured on the screen. Text us your thoughts, maybe some baseball memories, or maybe some memories of Mike Blowers, the uncle of Kyler Stancato. The 2-2, that's inside, almost hit him as Valentine gets out of the way. And jogging to second is Wilkinson. It's going to be a wild pitch, as Rose has been trying to pitch Valentine in this at-bat. Working some backdoor sliders and then went up and in. Kind of the bow tie pitch on Valentine. The old-timers would call that a little chin music. It's Valentine back in the box. He's determined to get the Raptors on the board again. 8-3 Boise. The 3-2, and that's fouled out off the netting. For Boise, the two big innings were a 4-run second where they had 5 hits in that inning, and then the 5th inning, they scored 3 runs on 2 hits. And were also helped out by an Ogden error. So 8-7-0 for Boise, 3-6-1 for Ogden. Next 3-2 pitch, and that's tapped back towards Rose, who fields it. Underhand toss to first, and Valentine's out by a step. For the Raptors, no runs, no hits, and there was 1 left. We head to the 7th. Boise 8, Ogden 3. This is the Raptors Baseball Network.
Are you okay? You seem upset. Turns out you were right. Our car was breaking down and we did need a new one with a loan from America First Credit Union. Me saying there was no hurry and to wait was wrong. Hey, on the bright side, we got to meet Huey.
Get your money working with our low-rate auto loans, now with no payments for 90 days.
Who's pitching?
3 wireless carriers.
Big corporate mobile. Our stock always goes up.
So do your prices. I'm out. We're cheap, just like your coverage.
We're Red Pocket, your new ultimate cell carrier. Only we give you all 3. No price increases, 2-minute care, and all major networks for your best 5G coverage.
What's your ask?
$10.
You've got a deal. Switch to Red Pocket, like me, your new ultimate cell carrier.
At the Prairie Schooner, you can dine in a covered wagon while enjoying our delicious hand-cut steaks, fresh seafood, and signature desserts. Go to prairieschoonerrestaurant.com or call us at 801-392-2712 to reserve your table today.
We're now in the top of the 7th inning. Boise leads Ogden 8-3. New pitcher for Ogden is Nolan Ficklin from St. George, Utah. Played his college baseball at BYU. Ficklin, 24 years old, 5'11", 175 pounds. And he'll be facing the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Boise Hawks. First pitch to Jeremy Begora, the tall right-handed hitter. It's a called strike. Begora thought that was a little bit low. It was pretty close. I think if they challenged that, it would have been a strike. Ficklin, the workhorse, it's his 21st appearance of the year. Next pitch misses outside. So it's his 21st appearance, and it's the Raptors' 37th game. Ficklin's got a 1-1 record with an 8.57 earned run average. He's worked 21 innings, giving up 32 hits, 33 runs, 20 of them earned. He's worked 13 unearned runs as Begora flies one to Raptors Ridge and deep. That is off the bottom of the wall. Begora rounds first and heads for second, and for somebody his size, he moves like a gazelle. He gets a double to lead off the top of the 7th. And that is his 3rd hit tonight. Begora, 2 singles and a double. He's also walked, so he's reached base twice, or he's reached base now 4 times. He has scored 3 runs. So that brings up Joseph Califoot, who's got 2 doubles, and he reached on an error. Also has a stolen base and an RBI. So it's been the middle of the Boise lineup that's really produced a lot of their damage. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters, who are the first 3 in this inning. Ficklin with a close stance, has a good view of Begora at second, fires to the plate, and it's a called strike. So it's interesting with Ficklin. He's had 13 unearned runs on his game this season. He's walked 22 and struck out 18. So Ficklin takes a deep breath. Checks the runner at second, fires, and that one's low, blocked by Wilkinson. Interesting chess match here this evening as we are now joined by Eric Kelleher. And Eric, whereabouts are you here at Lindquist Field? Sounds like we'll get to Eric here in a little bit. And it looks like he's walking around the ballpark. Hopefully he's at O-Town. And I think we've actually sent Eric to O-Town to get us a Raptors burger for after the game, I think is what I think Eric is missioning for. He might be able to get us some garlic fries as well. Ficklin checks Begor at second. The next pitch, that's a breaking ball that just misses inside. It's going to be challenged by the Raptors. And, well, let's see. Red pocket mobile strike zone challenge. It's going to be close. Pitch is confirmed to ball. The Raptors now have one red pocket mobile strike zone challenge left. See if we can catch up with Eric as he's hanging out at Lindquist Field. Like we said, hopefully he's getting us a Raptors burger. I know for sure he's getting us a Pepsi product or two, as that's something he does here to the GCB Computers broadcast booth. Next pitch, that misses outside, and it's a fine pitch walk to Joseph Califoot. And Eric, whereabouts are you here at Lindquist Field?
Hey, Tyson, I'm hanging out along the third baseline up by our one of our barbecue pits. Can't remember the name. I'm grabbing a Pepsi, and I'm looking to hang out over the left field wall with the firemen and give you my outlook on this game and hope the Raptors can claw back in.
Logan Meyer, the batter, runners at first and second, and that pitch misses low for ball one. Eric, it seems like, I think Raptors fans were hoping that leaving the bases loaded in the second inning wouldn't come back to bite them, but it looks like it almost has, as Boise is really showing why they're one of the better pitching staffs in the league, and so it looks like the Raptors are going to have their work cut out for them in this series.
Absolutely, I agree. And Boise has 3 more left-handers to try and beat up on our Raptors. Typically, mostly right-hand batters. It just that offset left to right gets batters confused and makes it difficult to hit off of them. So Boise has that arsenal still.
But it's kind of interesting how Evan Parker's utilized the fact that Greco and Bavacqua didn't start the game. We saw Bavacqua pinch hit, and he's in there now, and Tyler Gannis pinch hits as well, and he's also got Greco and maybe a chance of Stancato coming back in the game if he wants to.
Yeah, I see Skip Parker. He's just trying to light the fire in his offense, get some guys going. It's a great move. He pulled it on Sunday just to get that extra boost over the hump of the 6th and 7th inning, create more action. Just hope the Raptors can get back into it, get a little spark.
2-1 Logan Meyer. He squares the bunt, pulls the bat back, and takes ball 3. 3-1 to Logan Meyer. Runners at first and second, no outs. Anything stand out to you about this game, Eric, that you want to talk about?
Not as yet. It's been a quiet game. Boise, they came into this losing 4 in a row, so I'm sure Skip Sean is probably his game plan changed a little bit. The boys, their game plan's working.
Foul ball, right field side out of play off the bat of Logan Meyer. Kind of fun to see Parker DePasquale. He's on deck right now for Boise, and he's a former Raptor and actually is a native of Bountiful, Utah.
Yeah, I actually got to meet his father and some of his family. Very nice people. I'm sure you can hear him cheering for him. It's not typical Raptors fans.
Bouncing ball towards short, charging's Valentine. He tosses to second for one, on to first. And safe is Meyer on the fielder's choice. But, Eric, last thing from me. We'll get your opinion on it. But Chase Valentine, I think defensively, has been a star with his range. He has gone after, and we saw him charge that ball and get the force at second. He's done an outstanding job getting to balls here this evening.
Oh, he has been the shining light of this game. His range, his athleticism, his speed is just you don't see it a lot. He's very exciting to watch, and I'm sure it's a beautiful thing for our hometown crowd.
Parker DePasquale takes inside. Well, Eric, thanks for joining us. And, hey, if you're ever near O-Town or where the garlic fries are, see if we can bring some up to the GCB Computers broadcast booth along with that Pepsi product.
Absolutely, Tyson. I'll bring you your favorite Mountain Dew, buddy.
Terrific. Love hearing that. That's Eric Kelleher as he's hanging around the ballpark. Runner at first takes off. Bouncing ball towards DePasquale as Valentine fields, fires to first, and there's 2 away. Scoring, though, is Begora, as Valentine was playing deep, trying to get the double play ball, but with the runner in motion, as Meyer took second base, it's just a typical 6-3 ground out. And we've seen quite a few occasions here where there's runners at the corners or there's runners at first and second, and Boise takes off to take away the double play possibility. With Meyer in motion there, simple ground ball to Valentine could have been a double play, but instead it's just a 6-3 put out with DePasquale getting out at first. Now bouncing ball to Tony Gwynn special between the shortstop and third baseman for a base hit. Pell up with it, fires the plate, close play, sliding at the plate, and he's out at the plate. Califoot can't believe it. As what a great throw by Bradley Pell from left field as he guns down Joseph Califoot at the plate. It's going to be a single for Caden Matlon, but no RBI as Boise manager Sean Persky argues the call. 7th inning stretch here at Lindquist Field. Boise with a 9-3 lead. Raptors looking for a comeback bid. You're listening to the Ogden Raptors Baseball Network.
Are you okay? You seem upset. Turns out you were right. Our car was breaking down and we did need a new one with a loan from America First Credit Union. Me saying there was no hurry and to wait was wrong. Hey, on the bright side, we got to meet Huey.
Get your money working with our low-rate auto loans, now with no payments for 90 days.
Nothing I do seems to pay any dividends, you know.
How many of you feel the same as Alexander?
Yes, me. Yeah, for sure.
How many of you have been following the steps?
I want to, but it's hard to remember all of them. Right?
Same here. It's way too complicated.
Let's take a break.
Is it over?
Get your money working by becoming a member of America First Credit Union today.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
Bottom of the 7th inning, we believe it's 9-3 Hawks. Cole Jordan on the first pitch swings and bounces it to second base. Underwood, Crow hop, fires to first, and Jordan is the first out here in the bottom of the 7th. 1 pitch and 1 out, 4-3 for scoring at home. 9-3 Boise out in front. It looked like it would have been 10-3, but Bradley Pell with an outstanding throw to throw it to knife down Joseph Califoot at the plate. Carmine Lane's the batter, and on the mound in his second inning of work is Zan Rose. Z-A-N his first name. R-O-S-E his last name. Out of Tampa, Florida. And the first pitch. That one's a strike to Carmine Lane. Beautiful night here at Lindquist Field. About the perfect temperature you can look for. Sunset is underway, and it's glistening off the mountains at a perfect color. As Lane flies to right field, A.J. folds under it, and it makes the catch over his right shoulder for the second out. Barring a Colorado Rockies comeback, looks like I'm going to owe Tim Broussard a Pepsi product of his choice. Bottom of the 7th inning, Marlins lead the Rockies 10-2. Quite a few games have gone final in the big leagues. White Sox over the Orioles 9-3. Rangers defeat the Guardians 4-2. Phillies get a shutout from Christopher Sanchez. They defeat the Pirates 8-0. First pitch to Garrett Bavacqua, bouncing to set short, getting the tough hop as Jackson. He fires to first to retire the side. Boy, that took a tricky hop off the edge of the grass, and Darrell Jackson made it perfectly. Boy, Boise's flashing the leather here tonight. Quick inning in the bottom of the 7th as the Raptors go down 3-up, 3 down. We head to the 8th. 9-3 Boise on the Raptors Baseball Network.
I had a couple of friends that have come here, and they said that the education from the instructors was just really great. It was kind of between Davis Tech and here, and I decided to pick here because of the instructors. I've always loved hair, nail, and skin and all of those things, so I just thought it was a perfect career opportunity to be able to make my own schedule and do what I love. I really love doing men's haircuts, so that's probably my favorite. That, and then just coloring's fun because you get to experiment and kind of create new things, which is always fun. It's fun because they're like our instructors and they teach us lots, but they've always become like our friends, and they're always like motivating us to do new things and challenging us and like really care about us individually and like what's going on in our lives at home, what's going on in our life at school, and they're just very compassionate towards us. I would say 100% do it, even if you're kind of on the edge, because you meet a lot of new friends, you make great relationships, and then it's just fun. You learn a lot of like life skills as well, which is great, but it's just overall a great program. I'm Callie Rasmussen, and I'm a cosmetologist biology student here at OTech.
Windward Electric is the foremost commercial and industrial electrical contractor in the Intermountain West. We value relationships as we strive to provide exceptional experiences for our clients. Call 801-648-7270 for a quote or visit windwardelectric.com today.
Well, we head to the top of the 8th inning. Boise leads Ogden 9-3. The 2 big innings, a 4-run second and the 3-run 5th. Boise also scored 1 in the 3rd and 1 in the 7th for the Raptors. 1 run in the 2nd and 2 in the 5th. We got a new pitcher as Landon Riley is the 4th hurler used by Ogden this evening. Called to the bullpen, and Riley answered it. Tall drink of water, 6'5", 175 pounds. First pitch. That one misses low. You know what they always say, make an outstanding defensive play and you lead off the next half inning. And Daryl Jackson's leading off. He's a shortstop tonight, and he made a beautiful play on a high hop. Kind of a tricky hop, and he made it with ease, throwing up Garrett Bavacqua at first and the bottom of the 7th. Next pitch is a called strike, 1-1 to Daryl Jackson, who had a 2 RBI double in the 2nd inning. For my money, that's the biggest hit of the game. Riley out of Bakersfield, California, 25 years old. Next pitch, check swing. Did he go around? First base umpire says he did. The count's 1-2. Jackson, a right-handed hitter, 5'9", 185 pounds. For Landon Riley, it's his 11th appearance of the year. No wins, no losses. 18 strikeouts in 12 innings. Next pitch, Jackson lifts it right field side. And Bavacqua chasing after it near the right field line, and he makes the catch in fair territory for the first out. Boy, the sky's at kind of a tricky color, as that baseball kind of had an odd color in the air. Bavacqua was battling it the whole way, but he was able to make the catch, and he used 2 hands. As you could tell, he wasn't entirely sure of it, but was able to hang with it and make the play. So back to the top of the order for A.J. Folds. 0 for 3. He's been hit by a pitch as well. Folds, left-handed hitter from Dallas. First pitch from Riley's a called strike. That fastball from Riley at 88 miles an hour. Raptors in the white jerseys. Kind of the teal-colored hats. It's fun talking with Kyler Stancato. Next pitch up misses high. Big Seattle Mariners fan. And we learned something about Stancato. His uncle is Mike Blowers, the former Mariners third baseman. As I mentioned before, also spent some time with the Dodgers and Yankees. Had pretty good power and a strong throwing arm, which you certainly need at third. Folds swings and misses. That was a fastball from Riley. The count's 1-2. Some other scores across the big leagues. We went through some of them in the top of the 7th. It was a strong pitcher's duel with Tarek Skubal and Cam Schlittler. However, Skubal gets the better of Schlittler as the Tigers defeat the Yankees 9-3. Bouncing ball to second. Jordan charges, Fields fires to first. There's 2 away. Good job by Cole Jordan staying under control, as that was kind of a high chop towards the second baseman. Cole Jordan's had a good game defensively, and with 2 outs, nobody on, that brings up Tyler Best. Mets shut out the Blue Jays 3-0. Strong outing by McClain, Nolan McClain, who's a young hotshot pitcher for the Mets. Nationals defeat the Red Sox 8-1. Hey, look out for the Nationals. They're 44-43 and playing good baseball. First pitch to Best is fouled out of play first base side. Cardinals defeat the Braves 5-3. Braves struggling a little bit as of late, although they stay in first place in the National League East. Rays over the Royals 10-4. Brewers defeat the Reds 7-2. And the Astros get a 6-run 4th inning as they defeat the Twins 6-4. The 0-1 to Best. That one missed. Wow, that one missed. So the count's 1-1. Home plate umpire tonight is Paul Graham. Raptors have 1 challenge left as Riley comes set. And the pitch. That one is inside. Counts 2-1. Games in progress in the big leagues. Middle of the 5th inning, Diamondbacks lead the Giants 6-0. No score after 5 innings between the Angels and Mariners. Angels fired their general manager recently. John Mozeliak's the interim GM. Next pitch. And that one misses. Counts 3-1. Strike zone is tighter than my chest after a mile run here in the 7th inning. Or this being the 8th inning. As next pitch is fouled out of play first base side, as Riley on a couple of occasions thought he had a strike, but didn't get the call. Top of the 6th inning, Dodgers lead the A's 6-1. That game is played in West Sacramento at the AAA ballpark where the Sacramento River Cats play, so it's odd seeing Shohei Ohtani playing there. The 3-2, fastball called, strike 3. May help you, Mr. Best. No, thanks, I'm just window shopping. 3 up, 3 down, go the Hawks in the top of the 8th. We head to the bottom half as the Raptors are looking for a comeback. 9-3 Boise on the Ogden Raptors Baseball Network.
If you're a business owner with 1 or more employees, you'll need a workers' compensation policy. A workers' compensation policy is required in almost every state. No matter what type of work, if your employee gets hurt on the job, a workers' compensation policy addresses medical care and lost income for injured employees, fatality benefits for families and workers killed on the job, and your potential liability for covered claims. Workers' compensation coverage is divided into 2 categories: workers' compensation insurance, which helps care for the injured employee, and employer's liability insurance, which protects you. At WCF, we provide safety training, medical care, return to work coordination, and more. When your employee gets hurt on the job, we'll take care of you both.
Windward Electric is the foremost commercial and industrial electrical contractor in the Intermountain West. We value relationships as we strive to provide exceptional experiences for our clients. Call 801-648-7270 for a quote or visit windwardelectric.com today.
This is Emmy with the Ogden Raptors, and now back for more baseball.
Are in the bottom of the 8th inning. Boise leads Ogden 9-3 as Zan Rose begins his 3rd inning of work. He has allowed 2 hits and hasn't walked anybody and struck out 1. Boise's a club has walked 5 batters, and the Raptors have walked 4. So both teams with relatively good control tonight. So that brings up Colson Lawrence. He is 0 for 2 at a sacrifice fly in the 5th inning, so don't count him with an at-bat, and that was an RBI. Lawrence with 46 RBIs on the season. First pitch from Rose is a fly ball right field. That's going to be an adventure with the sky as a right fielder Folds settles under it and makes the catch. And Folds takes a deep breath, and he wonders if anybody in attendance here this evening knows just how tough that fly ball really was. So 5 straight have been retired by Rose, and that brings up Bradley Pell. Pell started the game in right field, moved to left field when Bavacqua took over for Stancato. Pell, left-handed hitter, open stance. And Rose has now worked 2 1/3 innings as he steps off the mound. As he works back on his footing. So 1 disengagement for Boise. As Rose comes set, takes a deep breath, and delivers. That's a fastball called strike. One of their big league game. Top of the 9th inning, Cubs lead the Padres 9-7. Looks like I.O. Tim Broussard a beverage of his choice as top of the 8th inning, Marlins lead the Rockies 10-2. Marlins 10 runs and 16 hits. Rockies 2 runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors. You know, there's still some baseball left, and they always say Coors Field's a hitter's park, so you never know. Next pitch to Pell, that misses outside. We're having fun here in the GCB Computers broadcast booth at Lindquist Field. Raptors looking for a big inning here in the 8th. As Boise pitchers have done a pretty good job, as well as some great plays in the field. Next pitch misses outside. On this date in baseball history, in 1962, Sandy Koufax no-hit the Mets 6-0. That game was played in Los Angeles. Koufax struck out 13. He actually threw an immaculate inning in the 1st inning that night. Next pitch, Pell, does he check his swing? Yes, says the third base umpire, Larry Pfister. So counts 3-0, 1 on, 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of this 8th as Boise leads Ogden 9-3. How many immaculate innings have there been in big league history? Well, there's been 121 immaculate innings, and it's been done by 113 pitchers. As Pell takes ball 4. 1 out walk, that's the 2nd time Pell has walked. He leads the club with 32 bases on balls this season. So that brings up Gio Ferraro, who's reached base in all 3 of his at-bats. 2 singles and a walk. He was picked off first base in the 6th inning. On this date in baseball history, in 1995, Eddie Murray of the Cleveland Club got his 3,000th hit off Twins right-handed pitcher Mike Trombley. Cleveland won that game over Minnesota 4-1. First pitch to Ferraro misses outside. Eddie Murray, a switch hitter in the Hall of Fame, had over 3,000 hits and 500 home runs. He picked up his 3,000th hit on June 30th of 1995. Rose comes set with a strong lower half. Next pitch, swing and a miss. It's 84 miles an hour, but Ferraro just a little bit out in front. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. As Rose comes set, kind of a high set. Modest lead by Pell at first. Next pitch. It hits the inside corner for a called strike. That was a strong fastball at 91 miles an hour from Rose. 13th time these teams have met this season, but it's the first time here at Lindquist Field this season. Raptors 5-7 against the Hawks this year as Ferraro serves one to right field, and it's going to get down for a base hit. Stopping at second base is Bradley Pell. The second baseman, Underwood, kind of raised his glove as if he had a play on the ball, trying to deke the runner, Pell. But Pell, though, probably just reaches second base anyway, with it being a 6-run game. Probably doesn't want to make the second out at third if he can help it. So that brings up Tyler Gannis, who pinch hit for Efren Manzo in the 6th inning. Gannis struck out off that submarine pitcher. Actually, I think he struck out off Rose. Remember, submarine pitcher Cheney Trout pitched 2/3 of an inning. Rose on the mound has worked 2 1/3. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Runner at first, Ferraro's not being held on. Pitch to Gannis, a swing and a miss. Right-hander, kind of a sidearm right-hander loosening up for Boise in their bullpen. Nobody's loosening up for the Raptors as Landon Riley pitched a scoreless top of the 8th inning. On the bottom of the 8th, first of 6 straight between these clubs, between 2 different cities. Next pitch, Gannis squares to bunt, pulls the bat back for a ball. Make sure to hang out with us here tomorrow night for the second of the 4 games of the Ogden part of this series, and then July 4th and 5th, Saturday and Sunday, will be in Boise. Gannis, right-handed hitter, wiggles the bat back and forth. He lines right off of Girls and towards second base and past Underwood as it goes into center field. Chugging around third is Pell. He's going to score standing up. Heading to third is Ferraro, and it's going to be a single for Tyler Gannis and an RBI. That's his 14th RBI of the year, and it's now a 9-4 game. As the ball ricocheted off of Rose, as he says he's okay, kind of either got Rose on the hip or on the backside, and then ball just kind of trickled towards Underwood, and it went past the Boise second baseman into center field. So Raptors have something cooking here in the 8th. Runners at the corners, 1 out for Dylan Wilkinson. Chase Valentine's on deck. First pitch to Wilkinson's a base hit left field. Ferraro scores. Stopping at second is Gannis. It's an RBI single for Dylan Wilkinson. It's his 2nd hit of the night, and it's now a 9-5 game. That was 92 miles an hour, but it got plenty of the plate as Wilkinson with a pretty good approach, and that looks like it's going to be it for the right-hander Rose. And we'll keep it here as it's now a 9-5 game. Runners at first and second. The tying run will be on deck, and boy, Chase Valentine's come up big for the Raptors here lately as the call to the bullpen will bring in the 4th pitcher for the Hawks, as Ann Rose made 44 pitches. And the new pitcher for Boise is going to be number 31, Ryan Dusang, D-U-S-A-N-G his last name, out of Commerce, Michigan. Played previously with the Westside Woolly Mammoths. So he might have been a teammate with Raptors catcher Hank Dodson. So if Dodson's in the dugout, he might be given a bit of a scouting report if they played together last year. Dusang, 6'1", 185 pounds, 25 years old. As Dusain begins his warm-up tosses, let's go over his numbers on the year. It's his 17th appearance. Has a record of 2-0. He's got 4 saves, which is second in the club. Zan Rose, who just pitched the 2 1/3 innings, has 6 saves. Dusain's got a 6.86 earned run average. He has worked 19 2/3 innings, giving up 18 hits, 16 runs. He has walked 11 and struck out 16. Pioneer League is batting .257 against the sidearm right-hander, Ryan Dusang. And this is, with Rose being a right-hander, I mean, Rose kind of more over the top, and Dusang looks like he can be pretty tough on right-handers, not only with the fastball, but it looks like he's got a frisbee slider as well. And if you think about the guys coming up, Valentine, right-handed hitter. Jordan, also a righty. Carmine Lane, right-handed. So the first 3 in the order are right-handed. And if you think about Bavakwa being the 4th hitter, he's a left-hander. So 3 straight right-handed hitters for the Raptors. And with this sidearm righty, he is tough on righties. It kind of has that effect. You know, if you're a right-handed hitter like Valentine, you know, it almost looks like he's coming out from behind you with the baseball. So kind of a tough look. We'll see what Valentine does to adjust it to it. He has seen the warm-up tosses from Dusang. With Dusang appearing as much as he has, I imagine he's faced the Raptors a few times this year. Dusang gets the sign as he will begin his outing. And he fires the first pitch of Valentine's, a swing and a miss. That was out of the zone away as Valentine kind of stepped in the bucket a little bit, trying to pull it. That's the tough thing with Dusang. You kind of have to hang in there. Looks like Valentine's opened his stance up just a little bit to combat the sidearm movements. Dusang, his sidearm delivery, and that one misses low. Counts 1-1. With a guy like this, if you're a right-hander like Valentine against this tough righty, you're going to have to find a way to stay in there, especially on this frisbee slider that he's got to his repertoire. The 1-1, that's a swing and a miss. 82 miles an hour. 1-2 to Chase Valentine. Raptors are looking at this as a golden opportunity to climb back into it, as they've already scored 2 runs here in the 8th. Runners at first and second. Wilkinson's not being held on at first, so we'll get a big lead. Gannis, huge lead at second. Next pitch, that's outside off the glove of Matlin. And no advancement by the base runners as he was able to quickly jump on the ball as the Ogden catcher, or the Boise catcher. Evan Parker flashing the signs, the third base coach. Just inside the third base coach's box, wants to get a pretty good angle on whether to send the runner or not on a base hit. Valentine lines one, it's a base hit. Inside the left field line, and it rolls all the way to the left field corner. Gannis scores, chugging around third, he gets the stop sign, and he's going to slide as Wilkinson between third and home. Now he's caught in a pickle. As throw to Matlin. Now Wilkinson dances around, and Matlin tags Wilkinson diving before he gets to third base for the out. Boy, Wilkinson saw the stop line a little bit late. Boy, Wilkinson, if he kept going, I think might have had a chance to score. 1 run scored, it's 9-6. Wilkinson slid halfway between third and home. The throw came to the plate, and Wilkinson was in a run down, and Matlin tagged Wilkinson in the back before Wilkinson was able to recover to third. So it is another double for Chase Valentine, his 3rd double of the game. He did score Tyler Gannis, so 3 runs have scored for Ogden here in the 8th. It's 9-6, that's the score. And there's 2 outs. Cole Jordan's the batter. First pitch to Jordan. He's kind of opened his stance here against Dusang, and that pitch misses inside. Well, it's one of those things we've seen other base runners kind of run through the stop sign, and a few of those occasions they've scored. Wilkinson, if he would have kept going, probably scores, but then he decided late to obey the stop sign, and it was too late at that point, as he was already well past third. A ball and a strike, 2 outs to Cole Jordan, with Carmine Lane on deck, and Lane would represent the tying run. Raptors putting together a comeback bid in the 8th. Runner takes off. Valentine swings and misses, throw to third, and Valentine is safe at third on a headfirst slide. 3rd stolen base for Valentine tonight. He has now stolen 22 bases on the season. And it looks like the manager is going to come talk with the home plate umpire, maybe asking about interference on Jordan. 2 balls and a strike. Actually, it's 1-2, as that last pitch was a strike. 1-2 to Cole Jordan with 2 outs. Valentine with a good lead at third. 9-6 Boise. Next pitch, that misses outside. Dusang with that sidearm delivery, and he kind of crouches down a bit, using his legs. Kind of that drop and drive method. Boy, he could be tough on righties. The 2-2. Jordan lines it past the shortstop. Jackson into the left field. Valentine scores. It's an RBI single for Cole Jordan. And the tying run is coming into the plate in the person of Carmine Lane. So 4 runs for Ogden so far in the 8th. And the fans are making a ton of noise here at Lindquist Field. 5 straight hits for the Raptors. 6 straight base runners. Ferraro, Gannis, Wilkinson, Valentine, and Jordan have each picked up base hits, with Valentine getting a double. The other 4 was singles. First pitch inside to Carmine Lane. Nobody warming up in the Boise bullpen. Nobody warming up for Ogden. The 1-0 to Lane. That misses outside. Lane represents a tying run. Smoke him if you got him, as the Raptors have been a good come-from-behind team this season. Now it looks like a lefty's going to begin to warm up for the Hawks. Lane, right-handed hitter. Next pitch from Dusang. Breaking ball that misses low and in. On deck is Garrett Bavacqua. And you would think that the lefty warming up in the pen would be a perfect replacement to face Bavacqua, but the lefty just barely started to get loosened up, and he won't be warm in time. Next pitch to Lane's a called strike. The 3-0 pitch was right down the middle. Raptors playing exciting brand of baseball, and when it looked like there was no hope, they're down 9-3. Raptors put together a crooked number. The 3-1. Lane fists it towards right field, and it's down for a base hit. Jordan rounds second, and he holds up there as the throw comes in from Folds, the right fielder. 6 straight base hits for the Raptors, 7 straight base runners, and that brings up Garrett Bavacqua. And this Ogden team, they'll battle you for 27 outs. The pitching coach is going to come out. They're going to buy as much time as possible, because I think they want this lefty that's warming up in the bullpen, Blake McFadden. I think they want him to face Bavacqua. But they did not get McFadden up until there was a couple pitches on Carmine Lane. So there's no way, unless McFadden is the type that he warms up in a hurry. If the home plate umpire lets them talk for as long as possible, there's still 15 seconds left in this mound visit, and then the home plate umpire will come out. I think Boise is going to stall this thing as much as humanly possible, because I think they want McFadden to face the lefty Bavacqua and create a lefty-lefty matchup. It wouldn't surprise me if the pitching coach comes all the way to the dugout. The pitcher takes some time, and then Sean Persky makes a slow walk to the mound to bring in McFadden. So the meeting has been broken up behind the plate. McFadden has only made about a half dozen throws from the bullpen mounds. McFadden's going to be loosened up quickly, but I don't know if he's going to face Bavacqua or if they're going to let the right-hander face Bavacqua with 2 outs. You wonder, why would you have the left-handed pitcher warming up if you're not going to put him in this situation? This is the perfect spot for him. And the first pitch from Dusang's a called strike. It's going to be challenged by Bavacqua. Raptors have 1 challenge remaining. Red Pocket Mobile Strike Zone challenge. And the pitch is overturned to a ball. Raptors still have 1 Red Pocket Mobile Strike Zone challenge remaining. Bavacqua, the left-hander, will get a good look at Dusang, the right-handed sidearm hurler. Runners with modest leads at first and second. Next pitch, Bavacqua lines one to second, and great diving stop by Underwood. He fires to first, and that retires the side. Boy, they gambled in the Boise dugout with Bavacqua facing the right-hander, and Ethan Underwood saves the day with a beautiful diving stop to his left, doing his best Roberto Alomar impersonation to end the bottom of the 8th. But the Raptors score 4 times on 7 straight base runners and 6 straight hits. Landon Riley will pitch the 9th when we come back. Boise 9, Ogden 7 on the Raptors Baseball Network.
It starts with a vision, a goal that sets the wheels in motion. The path may be rough, but with grit, hard work, and the right support, no race is too tough. No goal beyond reach. Bank of Utah provides all the tools and expertise I need to get across the finish line. So what are you waiting for? Start your journey with Bank of Utah today.
Hey, gang, you're watching Ogden Raptors professional baseball right here on the Raptors Baseball Network. Ciao, baby.
Well, we've got a fun one here at Lindquist Field as we head to the ninth. Boise leads Ogden 9-7, but remember it was a 9-3 Boise lead going into the bottom of the eighth, and then the Raptors scored 4 runs on 6 hits. But a great defensive play by Ethan Underwood kept it a 9-7 game. Landon Riley in his second inning of work. First pitch misses inside to Ethan Underwood. So that's the second time we've seen it where a Boise player makes a great defensive play and then leads off the next half of the inning. As Underwood was the one that did his best Roberto Alomar impersonation, making that diving stop to rob Garrett Bavacqua of a base hit. Underwood at the plate is 0 for 3 with a sac bunt. Although officially they would say he's 0 for 4, but that really was a sac bunt, which shouldn't count as an at-bat. So he should be 0 for 3 unless they change the scoring rules. As Underwood fouls one, third base side. Underwood, like Jeremy Bagora, they played at Young Harris College. They were teammates at Young Harris for 1 year in 2023. Underwood in his second year with the Boise Hawks. Next pitch, he skips out of the way. Not sure how he didn't get hit by that one. Counts 3-1. In the bottom of the ninth, the Raptors will have the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up. Lawrence, Pell, and Ferraro. And Ferraro's had a pretty good game. 3 hits, and he's also walked. Underwood serves one to left field, and it's down for a base hit. And it's going to roll past Bradley Pell. And heading to second is Underwood, and he's got great speed, and he slides in safely. And what probably will be ruled a single and then an error by Bradley Pell to allow Underwood to advance to second. So runner at second with nobody out for Jeremy Bagora. Boy, Bagora's had a pretty good game. 3 for 3 with a walk. He has scored 4 times. 2 singles and a double. So if you're a Boise fan, this is the guy you want to have up there. First pitch from Riley's a called strike. That was 87 miles an hour. Ogden does have one red pocket mobile strike zone challenge pitch remaining. They're going to be looking for a high leverage situation to use that. Boise, I think, has some challenges left as well. Next pitch. Oh, that hits Bagora right in the elbow guard. And that one didn't even hurt because of the elbow guard. And that should be a commercial for that elbow guard company because Bagora is just going to jog the first, and it looks like he didn't phase him. 89 miles an hour was the pitch, right off the elbow guard, and Bagora will take first base. Boy, that elbow guard looked like it would hit 250 if he just hit off that thing with the way it ricocheted off it. First pitch. That one's to Joseph Califoot, and that's outside for ball 1. Tyson Whiting hanging out in the GCB Computers broadcast booth here at Lindquist Field. Riley takes a deep breath, comes set. Next pitch. Squaring to bunt, but couldn't pull it back in time. It's going to be a strike, 0-2 to Jeremy Califoot. Califoot has doubled twice, reached on an error, and walked. Calfoot calls for time at the plate. Right-hander loosening up in the bullpen. Caden Knipe warming up for the Raptors. No balls, 2 strikes to the left-handed hitter. Calfoot with an open stance. Next pitch, swing and a miss. And down he goes, and that's a big strikeout for Landon Riley. Riley's the guy that can get the big strikeout when you need him, and he got a huge one there. Boise looking for some insurance, and Ogden looking to keep this a 2-run game. As I mentioned, a pretty good part of the Ogden order due up in the 9th. Logan Mayer's the batter. He's been outstanding defensively at the plate. Had a sacrifice fly and a single, and 1 for 3 officially on the night. 1 strike to Meyer, left-handed hitter. Wiggles the bat back and forth, open stance. As a runner at second with a big lead, Riley throws and it goes into center field. Both runners will advance the base as Lawrence comes up with the ball. And that's going to be an error on Landon Riley as, boy, the runner at second, Underwood, got too big of a lead. Somebody in the Raptors infield notified Riley of it. Riley stepped off and a good throw would have had him. It just skipped past Valentine and into center field. That'll be the second error. It looks like, according to the scoreboard, it might be, we believe, the third error on the Raptors is, that ball that went past Pell to allow Underwood to get an extra base. So it really should be 3 errors for the Raptors, but they've only given them 2. So I guess they didn't give an error to Pell, which would mean that Underwood would have had a double. We'll check on that scoring a little bit later. A ball and a strike to Logan Mayer. Runners at second and third, 1 out. Infield's playing in. As Meyer fists it foul out of play first base side. Top 2 teams in attendance doing battle here this week. Raptors lead the league in attendance at 3,352 per game. And it looks like we got a pretty good Tuesday night crowd. The 1-2 is fouled back to the screen. Pretty good battle from Logan Meyer and right-handed hitter Logan Meyer. He's 24 years old out of Billings, Montana. 6 feet, 200 pounds. Pretty strong fella. Parker DePasquale is on deck. The Bountiful, Utah native with the high stirrups. The 1-2 is that's yanked outside. Caught on a backhand by Wilkinson. Counts now 2-2. Caden Knipe is warming up in the bullpen. Raptors looking for their 6th victory against Boise this year. They're 5-7 against the Hawks. Previous 12 meetings were in Boise. Riley takes a deep breath. Runners with modest leads. Pitches bounce back to Riley off his glove. Checks the runner at third, fires at the first, and Meyer is out. Holding at third is Underwood. A great call and play by Riley. Comebacker ricocheted off his glove. Once Riley collected the ball, made sure to check Underwood, as Underwood probably would have taken off for the plate had Riley not checked him. And then Riley knew he had plenty of time. Meyer not as decent speed, but isn't a burner. Riley was able to make the play easily to first. So that's a good athlete making a really good play, as Landon Riley is very athletic. 6'5" and 175 pounds. He walks it off, and he made a beautiful play there. A tougher play than people would think. I'll bring up Parker DePasquale. Bountiful native, has some family in attendance, family and friends, and his high school coach is even in attendance. Played at Bountiful High School and was one of the more entertaining high school teams in recent memory. First pitch is missed outside. It was fun talking with his father in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's interesting. He played on a high school team with a future NFL and future NBA player. Sam Merrill of the Cavaliers and Brady Christensen from BYU, who plays for the Carolina Panthers, or at least was drafted there. Swing and a miss. Counts 1-1. They showed on the video board, they showed a few bloopers that looked like it was from Baseball's Funniest Bloopers from 1991 that they were showing on the video board. DePasquale with kind of some old school stirrups. The 1-1, and that's tap foul into the Boise dugout. Oh, that was a laser. Hopefully everybody's okay. As that one off his bat quickly into the Boise dugout, and based on everybody just kind of holding their positions, looks like, luckily, everybody's okay. A ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Fans make some noise. 9-7 Boise. As the Raptors are hoping to keep it right here and rally in the bottom of the ninth. The 1-2 is a fly ball towards center field. Lawrence chasing towards Raptors Ridge. He has a play and he makes the catch of the warning track. That retires the side. We'll see if the Raptors have some Lindquist Field magic in them here in the bottom of the ninth. Boise leads 9-7. You're listening to the Raptors Baseball Network.
Whatever you do, don't drop the ball at the Raptors Stadium. And we don't want to let you drop the ball for your insurance. We want to make sure that you have the proper coverage and the best price. Here at the Insurance Center, we're going to take care of you. We've had a great relationship with the Raptors, and we want to have a great relationship with you. Your auto, your home, your life, your health, your business. We have experts that are there to take care of you. We've been doing this for a long time. We are your trusted choice insurance agency here locally. We are the only best practice insurance agency north of Salt Lake. Realize that we're going to take the best care of you. Give us a call, 801-622-2626. Look us up online, www.insurancecenterut.com. We're here to take care of you and hit the ball out of the park.
LWE has become an industry leader and performed new construction and retrofit work to companies in several industries. LWE is located in northern Utah and has performed work throughout the western United States. We can be reached at 801-621-3220.
Well, we head to the bottom of the ninth. We'll see if the Raptors have some magic in them. 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up against right-hander Ryan Dusang. Colson Lawrence to lead things off. Lawrence 0 for 3 with a sacrifice fly. That came in the 5th inning. Lawrence with 46 RBIs on the year, and he came into play batting .418. Dusang, a right-hander that's pretty tough on other righties. Lawrence, a right-hander. On deck is Bradley Pell, who's a lefty, and then Gio Ferraro, right-handed batter. If anybody reaches, Tyler Gannis have been hitting in that 8th spot. First pitch to Lawrence, swing and a miss. That was an off-speed pitch from Dusang, kind of a slider that broke late. 9 runs, 11 hits, no errors for Boise. 7 runs, 12 hits, 3 errors for the Raptors. Next pitch, that's tap foul towards Raptors dugout. Next pitch to Lawrence, swing and a miss. He goes down on 3 pitches. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. That's how we begin the bottom of the ninth. So that brings up Bradley Pell. Pell, left-handed hitter. So far tonight's walked twice. He's been robbed a couple extra times, 0 for 2. Scored twice. First pitch misses inside from Ryan Dusang. 1-0. That's a called strike. It's on the outside corner, 83 miles an hour. Dusang with 4 saves on the season. He's looking for his 5th. Raptors had an 4-run 8th to keep it interesting. Pell slices one foul off the netting, third base side. Counts 1 and 2 as Dusang's done a good job filling the strike zone. Dusang comes set, even with nobody on base. Next pitch to Pell. That one misses outside. Counts 2 and 2. Next pitch to Pell misses outside. So count goes full. No one on. 1 out. And if anybody reaches for the Raptors, that means a tying run will come up to the plate. One guy in front of us is looking to his buddy and saying, let's get ourselves another Pepsi product. I couldn't agree more. The 3-2, swing and a miss. As the Boise dugouts fired up. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the bottom of the ninth, and the final hope for the Raptors is Gio Ferraro. I would do saying it's that off-speed pitch that's got late movement to it. That's what has made it as dangerous as it is, although he went with the fastball that time to get Pell. But it's that threat of an off-speed pitch that makes that 90-mile-an-hour fastball look even quicker. Ferraro, right-handed batter's had a good game. 3 for 3 with a walk. He scored a run. First pitch misses outside. The fans take up a Let's Go Raptors chant. Ogden's won 2 in a row, looking to make it 3 in a row. Next pitch to Ferraro, and that's fisted towards first. Up with it is Begora. He'll race the bag himself, and he'll beat Ferraro, and that will do it. 3 up, 3 down go the Raptors in the bottom of the ninth, and the Boise Hawks come away with a 9-7 victory. We'll come back with the post-game story and the totals.
It starts with a vision, a goal that sets the
final score here from Lindquist Field is the Boise Hawks 9 and the Ogden Raptors 7. Post-game show is coming up in a minute. You're listening to the Ogden Raptors Baseball Network. That's all right.
If you're a business owner with 1 or more employees, you'll need a workers' compensation policy. A workers' compensation policy is required in almost every state. No matter what type of work, if your employee gets hurt on the job, a workers' compensation policy addresses medical care and lost income for injured employees, fatality benefits for families and workers killed on the job, and your potential liability for covered claims. Workers' compensation coverage is divided into 2 categories: workers' compensation insurance, which helps care for the injured employee, and employer's liability insurance, which protects you. At WCF, we provide safety training, medical care, return to work coordination, and more. When your employee gets hurt on a job, we'll take care of you both.
With so many options available, you may find it difficult to distinguish between contractors and which one is the best qualified to handle your important project. We would like to make this decision easy for you by summarizing what sets us apart from our competitors. Kier Construction has an experienced staff, annual revenues exceeding $100 million, and Kier has evolved into a diversified general contractor with experience in multi-unit and commercial construction. Kier Construction invites you to experience the difference. Call us at 801-627-1414.
We begin with the post-game story here at Lindquist Field as Boise defeats Ogden 9-7. For Boise, 9 runs, 11 hits, no errors. They left 8 on base. For the Raptors, 7 runs, 12 hits, 3 errors, and they left 9 on base. Andrew Baker started for Boise and went 4 1/3 innings, giving up 4 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. He walked 5 and struck out 3. So it really is up to the official score as to who they want to give the victory to. Cheney Trout pitched the last 2 outs of the top of the bottom of the 5th inning. Didn't allow any hits or struck out anybody. So it's possible Trout's going to be the winning pitcher. The loser for Ogden is going to be Caleb Bunch, as the Raptors put together a comeback bid, but couldn't at any point tie up the game. So Bunch is going to get credited with the loss. The save will go to Ryan Dusang. It will be his 5th save of the season. As we didn't have a home run in the game, there were 3 doubles. As Valentine and Pell, Valentine had 3 doubles. You talk about a hitting star. Chase Valentine, I guess, got to be the golden bat. He went 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs. Also walked. And so Chase Valentine is our golden bat of the game. As I mentioned, no homers on either side. Jeremiah Begora had a double. Joseph Califoot had 2 doubles, and Darrell Jackson had a double at the plate as well, and he was outstanding in the field. Logan Meyer had 3 RBIs. Begora went 3 for 3 with 4 runs scored. He also walked, and he was the hitting star for the Boise Hawks this evening. Time of game was 3 hours and 12 minutes in front of a crowd of 2,704 here at Lindquist Field. The flamethrower of the game for the Raptors will be Landon Riley. And if you're talking about players that did a good job keeping the Raptors in it, Riley pitched 2 scoreless innings, a scoreless 8th and a scoreless 9th, and had 2 strikeouts, and he was certainly instrumental in giving the Raptors a chance. It was a 9-3 game going into the 8th inning. Raptors had 6 straight base hits, but unfortunately, from their perspective, could only get 4 runs on the board as Dylan Wilkinson got held. He got the stop sign from Evan Parker, slid it about halfway between third and home, got in a rundown, and eventually was tagged out. Raptors had some chances to tie up the game as they had the tying runners on base in the 8th inning, but great defensive play. And if you're talking about the play of the game, Garrett Bavacqua hit a grounder to second, and Ethan Underwood had to race far to his left. He made a nice diving stop doing his best Roberto Alomar impersonation, got up and threw Bavacqua at first. That kept it a 9-7 game, and really, if you're talking about an aspect of the game that really made the difference, Boise defensively just made some outstanding defensive plays. And then, when the Raptors needed a chance there in the 9th inning, Ryan Dusang got back-to-back strikeouts of Lane and Pell, and he got Gio Ferraro to bounce out to the first baseman, and that was pretty much it, as Boise comes away with the series opener 9-7. Thanks to everybody for tuning in this evening. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast, not necessarily the final outcome. Technical director is Alan Hill. We had Aiden Haney and Josh Ijeka on camera. The media manager is Haven Aurelia Miller. Eric Kelleher joined me in the bottom of the 7th inning. We also have other members of the media team that were here this evening, including Jill Trent, who took photos, as well as Tylee Allen. And Heather was also a photographer this evening. And you'll catch some of those photos at OgdenRaptors.com. Thanks for hanging out with us once again. In 3 hours and 12 minutes in front of a crowd of 2,704, it was the Boise Hawks getting a 9-7 victory over the Raptors as Chase Valentine had 3 doubles to lead the Raptors attack. Next broadcast of Raptors baseball will be tomorrow evening, 6:15 pregame show, and the first pitch will be just after 6:30. I'm Tyson Whiting, and I'm just pursuing my dream. You're listening to the Ogden Raptors baseball